Chapter 409. Hee not bad. Kid, you're not bad. You know when to advance and when to retreat. You're neither arrogant nor impatient. You have a calm heart. You're indeed a good practitioner. As soon as he said that, Linley felt a little embarrassed. Although the other party was praising him, Linley didn't let down his guard before he figured out the other party's identity and intentions. He continued to observe his surroundings vigilantly. However, it was a pity that no matter what method Lin Rei used, he could not find anything strange. Moreover, the voice of the person who spoke surrounded the entire red space. Lin Rei could not tell where the voice came from at all. Kid, I've said it before. Don't try to find my whereabouts. With your current cultivation, you're still far from it. Lin Rei did not want to believe the words of the mysterious person. However, it was the truth. In the end, Lin Rei chose to give up. Senior, may I know who you are? Linley couldn't help but feel curious. Although he had asked earlier, he hadn't been able to get an answer. In the end, Linley couldn't help but feel curious. Well, you don't need to know this. You only need to know that many people have come here in the past hundreds of millions of years. However, no one has been able to reach this step. You should feel lucky. Lin Rei did not think that the other party was joking at all. Therefore, when he heard the mysterious voice, Lin Rei deeply understood the horror of this place. I can only tell you one thing. I'm the guardian deity of this devil cave. You can also say that I'm an obsession. It's an obsession to protect this place. Therefore, you don't need to know who I am. You only need to know that if you continue to walk down this path, you will obtain many good things. Compared to the swordgrass from before, they are not inferior at all. As soon as he said that, Linley's heart trembled slightly. However, it was only a slight tremble before he calmed down. This was because he knew that he did not believe that such a good thing would fall into his lap. Moreover, he had always believed that he would be well fed and clothed by himself. Therefore, Linley was certain that there would be many traps waiting for him behind the scenes. Thank you for telling me, Senior. Although it was just suspicion, Lin Rei did not dare to express his thoughts in the face of such a strong person. All right, I won't talk to you anymore. Hurry up and go in. It's very fun inside. But Just as Lin Rei was about to speak, he suddenly felt a strong force. In an instant, Lin Rei's body was thrown uncontrollably into the depths of the Devil's Denver. There were no obstacles along the way. There were no dangers, no traps, and no ferocious beasts guarding them. However, other than the blood-red space, there was nothing else. However, to Linley's disbelief, the deeper he went, the more a strange spiritual energy filled Linley's body. In addition, the faintly unconscious Linley had unknowingly, without even knowing what was going on, gained insights into the laws of the blood. For a person's bloodline to be able to learn the laws of the blood was extremely beneficial to the person. However, to the people of the immortal world, the law of blood was a very distant and unreachable thing. This was because the comprehension of the law of blood was something that could only be done after ascending to the divine world. Even immortal venerables couldn't do it. However, Lin Rei had done it. As the saying goes, no one has ever done it before. Lin Rei was the first person to do it. The red color in the blood-red space slowly receded. The red color that retreated turned into strands of red silk that were as long as hair. The moment Lin Rei passed by, they merged into Lin Rei's body. However, Lin Rei's primordial spirit, which was in the Pill Palace, had already reached a height of 1,000,000 zhong. Its pressure was rising bit by bit. At the same time, the primal chaos true spirit automatically revolved according to the circuit without Lin Rei's help. Round after round, Lin Rei's immortal spiritual qi and the power of his bloodline became more and more intense. Little brat, I didn't expect your aptitude to have reached such a level. You comprehended the law of blood as a mid-stage immortal monarch. At the same time, you absorbed the law of blood that was maintained by the old master in this space. It seems like my lifespan is not far away. At this moment, the voice of the mysterious god was filled with relief when Lin Rei was unconscious and the blood-red space was abnormal. However, when he said that he was looking at his master, his tone was very respectful. Little Dragon, who was in the system, naturally knew the voice of the mysterious god. This was because not long ago, the little dragon already knew all the information about the mysterious god in this space. If the little dragon's guess was correct, this space should belong to the untainted land. As long as the Lord of the Styx River, came out of it, the blood-red space was formed by the law of blood. The little dragon couldn't help but admire Lin Rei's luck and the depth of Lin Rei's good fortune. Others might not encounter such good fortune even once in millions of years. What about the master it chose? He encountered the Valley of Immortals when he first came to the immortal world. After that, he got rid of the endless bloodline. Then, he came to the capital city. Since then, he encountered the battlefield where the gods and devils fought. Then, he encountered the Tianqiong Mountain. Now, he encountered the remains of the Lord of the Styx River, who once dominated a region in the untainted land. Even a destined person wouldn't have such good fortune. Xiaolong was astounded by this. Even if he was born during the Grand Mist era, he still didn't dare to imagine such a fortuitous encounter. Chapter 4:10. However, what made the little dragon even more difficult was that the opportunity to break through did not come at will. Now that there was an opportunity to break through to the immortal emperor realm, the little dragon did not want to stop Lin Rei. Such a dilemma gave the little dragon a headache. It was very difficult for him to make any choice. Just like that, the little dragon watched Lin Rei's aura rise little by little as if he had become a rocket god. This made the little dragon panic. If Lin Rei was awake and saw the little dragon jumping around like an ant on a hot pan, he would definitely find a chair, put 2 plates of peanuts on it, and sit by the side to watch the show. He would also clap his hands and cheer. Humph, if it really doesn't work, I can only force my own strength and put the 5-element spirit into Lin Rei's body to make his 5 elements perfect. Although he still has to work hard to cultivate in the future, this should be a good choice. After thinking for a long time, the little dragon finally came up with an answer. He quickly returned to the system and grabbed the 5-element spirit in his hand, ready to wait for the moment when Lin Rei broke through to the immortal emperor realm. Of course, the unconscious Lin Rei was unaware of the little dragon's efforts. At this time, the Devil's Den was very quiet. However, at the same time passed quickly with Lin Rei's breakthrough. Time passed little by little. In the blink of an eye, more than 40 years had passed. The immortal world was completely different from the Devil's Denver. At this time, the immortal world was very turbulent. It had been more than 40 years since Lin Rei disappeared, but there was still no news of Lin Rei. Everyone in the Xuanzong Sect was sent out. The entire immortal world was turned upside down by the Xuanzong Sect, but there was no trace of Lin Rei. There were even some who said that Lin Rei had entered the Devil Realm. There were even some who said that Lin Rei had barged into a forbidden area but was killed. There were all kinds of rumors. The major sects, clans, and empires in the immortal realm who were planning to attack the Xuanzong Sect began to collude openly. Many people saw it. The other countries, clans, and sects who were not colluding with the Xuanzong Sect didn't come forward to ease the tension between the Xuanzong Sect and the Xuanzong Sect. They all hid as much as they could. If they couldn't, they could only watch as the Xuanzong Sect gathered all their forces and prepared to attack the heavens. How could the Xuanzong Sect not know about this news? But they had no choice. With the disappearance of their sect leader, they seemed to have lost their backbone. Moreover, they hadn't cultivated for such a long time. Therefore, the Xuanzong Sect could only defend against the alliance between the sections. However, their attack might take 10 years, 20 years, or even longer. No one knew when they would attack the Xuanzong Sect. But everyone knew that they wouldn't attack the Xuanzong Sect within 10 years. This was because they needed to have enough capital to take down the Xuanzong Sect with the least number of casualties. However, everyone forgot that the Xuanzong Sect's formation was set up by Lin Rei. Moreover, the palaces above belonged to Lin Rei. If Lin Rei died, these palaces would disappear immediately. They wouldn't stay for a moment longer. Male brother, from today onwards, the Zhouqian Trading Company shouldn't have any contact with the Xuanzong Sect. At this moment, the sect leader of the Tianqian Hall of the Tianqiong Xuanzong Sect was seated. Jin Ling spoke to Dong Xiaonan with a sad expression. What? Everyone was stunned when they heard this. However, after thinking about it, everyone understood the reason behind it. If the Zhouqian Trading Company was still in contact with the Xuanzong Sect, and if people found out that the Zhouqian Trading Company was related to the Xuanzong Sect, or even that the Zhouqian Trading Company was built by the Xuanzong Sect, then everything would be for naught. Expelling the male brother was a strategy of sacrificing the pawn to protect the cart. Jin Ling didn't believe that something had happened to her husband. Even if the Xuanzong Sect was captured, she had to preserve a trace of strength for her husband. This was the only thing she could do. Jean Ling's righteousness made everyone present blush with shame. They were deeply shocked by the current Jean Ling. No. No, sister-in-law, this definitely won't do. At this moment, a strong voice of objection came out of Dong Xiaonan's mouth. His face was full of proof. His eyes were bloodshot, and tears flowed uncontrollably from his eyes. No, sister-in-law, I firmly disagree with your decision. My life, everything I have, and helping the Zhoutian Trading Company were all given by Brother Lei. When the sect is in danger, you want me, Dong Xiaonan, to leave. You might as well kill me. At this moment, the Tianqian Hall was filled with an oppressive atmosphere. Everyone was silent. Male brother, listen to sister-in-law. I want you to leave to preserve the strength of the Zhoutian Xuanzong sect for the sect master. Similarly, when you leave, take Yun-Er and sister Yao with you. Yun-Er is Brother Lei's flesh and blood, and sister Yao is Yun-Er's biological mother. As long as they are fine, they will give the Xuanzong sect a trace of Brother Lei's bloodline. At this moment, Jean Ling had already decided to send Yun-Er away and leave her child behind. Protecting the Xuanzong sect was their responsibility. They couldn't leave, but Yun-Er was different. He had a choice. To Yun-Er, Lin Rei was just a familiar stranger who had met him a few times. But at the same time, this was her husband's bloodline. As for her son, he had the responsibility of protecting the Xuanzong sect since he was born. This was inevitable. But... Hearing Jean Ling's words, Dong Xiaonan wanted to say something, but he was interrupted by Jean Ling again. Remember, leave quickly. Don't let anyone see you. Sister-in-law is begging you. As soon as she said this, Dong Xiaonan couldn't say anything even if he wanted to. Immediately, he nodded in agreement and turned to leave. At this moment, Yao Er and Lin Yun were already waiting outside the Tianqian Hall. Dong Xiaonan, who had left the hall, didn't say anything else. He released his immortal qi and instantly enveloped Lin Yun and his mother. Then, he flew quickly towards the central part of the sect, the headquarters of the Zhoutian Trading Company. All right, all of you are the elites of the sect. This time, if we survive this disaster, we won't be afraid of anyone in the future. Now that Wang Kuei, Wang Wan and En-Er have all returned, from now on, close all the exits and protect our home with me. As soon as he said this, everyone in the hall began to shout. Protect our home! Protect our home! Their voices formed sound waves and instantly spread out in all directions outside of the Tianqian Hall. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was still improving his cultivation, still didn't know that his disappearance had ushered in a destructive attack on him. At this moment, at the end of the deepest part of the Devil's Den, Lin Rei was floating in the air. The surrounding red threads were still drilling into Lin Rei's body as if they were never saturated. At the same time, his cultivation had also reached a point where he was only one step away from the immortal Emperor realm. I didn't expect that the breakthrough would take 40 years. At this moment, the little dragon who had been following beside him, sighed as he looked at Lin Rei, who was still unconscious. However, just as he was about to sigh, a strange movement came out of Lin Rei's body. A huge wave of energy came out of Lin Rei's body, and at the same time, the pressure was also increasing rapidly. Damn, don't tell me he's preparing to break through now. As soon as the strange appearance appeared, the little dragon immediately sensed something. In an instant, five colored spirits of the 5 elements appeared in his palm and slapped them on Lin Rei's forehead. The spirits of the 5 elements instantly entered Lin Rei's body and began to follow the automatic operation of the chaos scripture to improve his cultivation. Where the soul goes, the soul of the device spirit, suppress the spirits of the 5 elements. Suddenly, a series of fast incantations flew out of Lin Rei's mouth and entered Lin Rei's body the moment they appeared. The incantations that entered Lin Rei's body began to quickly help Lin Rei refine the spirits of the 5 elements. Lin Rei, who was in a coma, felt something but did not wake up. The blood in Lin Rei's body had been purified by half of the impurities. However, due to the excessive consumption and the limited endurance of Lin Rei's body, the work of purifying the blood had to stop. Naturally, Xiaolong had sensed the instant his blood had stopped working. Even if it hadn't automatically stopped, Xiaolong would have come up with a way to make it stop. This was because Xiaolong knew that if Lin Li's body tried to purify all of the impurities in his blood, his body would explode and he would die. Fortunately, you're obedient. Otherwise, I'll have to do it myself. The little dragon laughed heartily and then focused all its energy on Lin Rei. Hee hee boy, you can laugh now. You've reached the early stage of the immortal emperor realm in such a short time. According to my previous estimation, it would take at least a few hundred years to break through to the immortal emperor realm. However, in the instant that the purification process ceased, Lin Li regained his senses, as well as his consciousness. However, the moment he woke up and felt his cultivation, he was pleasantly surprised. However, seeing that his cultivation was breaking through to a stage that he had been thinking about for a long time, Lin Rei did not dare to be careless. He cleared his mind and began to break through seriously. The primordial spirit in the Pill Palace was also growing rapidly as his cultivation increased. The primordial spirit that was originally 1 million feet had now grown to 10 million feet. It had reached a terrifying stage. Generally, the primordial spirit of a cultivator who broke through to the immortal emperor realm could only grow to 1 million feet. However, Lin Rei's primordial spirit was several times or even more than 10 times. This number was unpredictable. Hee hee, hurry up and break through. After I break through, I'll go back to planet Aqua Blue and bring Tao Tai out. Oh no. No, to break through to the immortal emperor realm, I need to summon 3 immortal venerables as my subordinates. Then, I'll let one of them return to the sect. In this way, I won't have to worry about the immortal world. Rings of immortal spiritual chi were gathering. At the same time, the 5 elements were being refined. The last step was the final step. Fundamental venerable break. Break. Boom. A muffled sound rang out from within Lin Li's body, and in an instant, a terrifying aura exploded forth, crushing in all directions. Chapter 4:11. The aura was like spring water, endless and inexhaustible. The little dragon, who had been observing Lin Rei, felt the aura, and a happy expression appeared on its face. Alas! Finally, I've succeeded. Heaven rewards those who work hard. The little dragon sighed and looked at Lin Rei. It was truly happy and gratified for him. Lin Rei, who had broken through to the early stage of the immortal emperor realm, did not stop cultivating immediately. Instead, he immediately consolidated his cultivation to prevent any traces from causing irreversible consequences. Time passed little by little on Lin Rei's cultivation journey. More than 4 months had passed since Lin Rei had broken through to the immortal emperor realm. Finally, under Lin Rei's disdainful efforts, his cultivation of the early stage of the immortal emperor realm had been completely consolidated, and it was difficult to shake it. Haha, good. Not arrogant and not impatient. This boy seems to have grown up. Looking at the thoughtful and calm Lin Rei, compared to the past, it was simply a world of difference. Phew! He moved. Lin Rei, who was floating in the air, moved. He exhaled a mouthful of turbid air and his eyelids wriggled. Haha, I didn't expect that this breakthrough would allow me to break through to the immortal emperor realm. It's really incredible. Lin Rei, who slowly opened his eyes, felt his current cultivation, and his eyes were full of amazement and disbelief. Haha boy, you've finally done it. The little dragon's voice came out of nowhere. After Lin Rei heard it, he said to it with a smile. Yes, it's time to wake up. I don't know why, but I've been feeling more and more irritable recently. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, now that I'm awake, everything is fine. Not arrogant and not impatient, neither servile nor overbearing, and even less mischievous than before. For a moment, the little dragon was not used to it. If Lin Rei knew the benefits of the little dragon at this moment, Lin Rei would definitely say 2 words. Despicable. Hee hee, maybe it's because you've been in seclusion for too long that you're feeling upset. Don't worry. When we're done here, we'll leave and return to planet Aqua Blue. Otherwise, when the time is up, you'll be killed. What? So fast? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei was in disbelief. He had only fainted because there were only 100 years left until the 300-year promise. But now, the little dragon wanted him to go to planet Aqua Blue to fulfill the 300-year promise. This was too. Oh, what do you think? Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon rolled its eyes. You have been in seclusion for at least 40 to 50 years. Oh, do you think that a few years or a few months would allow you to jump 2 levels to become an immortal emperor? Do you think that immortal emperors are like chives that appear one after another? Upon hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei completely lost his temper. At the same time, He also accepted this fact. The little dragon was right. It wasn't easy to break through the threshold of the immortal emperor. Alright, hurry up and feel the power in your bloodline. Perhaps there will be unexpected benefits? Upon hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei didn't hesitate. He instantly inspected his bloodline, and to Lin Rei's astonishment, his bloodline had undergone earth-shattering changes. At this moment, his bloodline was like a red crystal and looked extremely charming. It was as though one could imprint it in the depths of one's mind with a single glance. Even natural gems couldn't compare to Lin Lei's bloodline. What was even more miraculous was that there was a terrifying power surging within his bloodline. Lin Lei had tested this power before. He was able to control this power at will, without any restraints. Damn this! Lin Rei was so surprised that he didn't know what to say. He didn't expect that after being in a coma for 40 to 50 years, there would be so many changes. As the person involved, he didn't even know what had happened. If others were to know about this, their jaws would definitely drop. Heh, consider yourself lucky to have come to an especially powerful place. But even so, let's settle the score with the 5 elemental spirits. The sudden change in the topic left Lin Rei at a loss for words. Upon hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei was puzzled. What 5 elemental spirits? He didn't know anything about them. What 5 elemental spirits? I've never seen them before. You. This sentence instantly choked the little dragon. But Lin Rei wasn't lying. He really didn't know, because when the little dragon injected the 5 elemental spirits into Lin Rei's body, he was in a coma. The 5 elemental spirits were automatically refined by the chaos scripture while he was in a coma. Regarding this, the little dragon didn't know what to do. But there was no doubt that the 5 elemental spirits would be paid back. Let me tell you, I injected the 5 elemental spirits into your body when you broke through to the immortal emperor realm. These things are expensive. You have to pay for them. Otherwise I'll cry in front of you. In the worst-case scenario, the little dragon could only resort to the coquettish method of the Blue Planet girls to deal with Lin Rei. Ugh. Lin Rei was really impressed by the little dragon's actions. But there was no other way. Lin Rei believed the little dragon's words. Because the little dragon had previously said that to break through to the immortal emperor realm, one must find the 5 elemental spirits, because this was a method from another era. This breakthrough was much stronger than an ordinary immortal emperor. Therefore, Lin Rei had no choice but to accept this debt. Okay, I'll accept it, okay? Then tell me, how much do you need? Lin Lei's words caused Xiaolong's eyes to light up. He hurriedly said, actually, it's nothing much. Each of the 5 elemental spirits costs 300,000 exchange points, so... Hiss. Hearing the number of 5 elemental spirits reported by the little dragon, Lin Rei couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. He rolled his eyes and almost fainted. However, after hearing the huge amount, his legs failed to live up to his expectations and bent down. 5 million exchange points. This was not 100 or 200,000. This was many times more than 200,000. If Lin Rei had the money, he would definitely not be stingy. But this was a lot of exchange points. Even if he sold himself, he wouldn't be worth so much. For a moment, Lin Lei was filled with worry. His forehead creased into a frown, and a look of displeasure appeared on his face. Isn't this playing with me? 5 million? Even if I sold my kidney, I wouldn't be able to get that much. Looking at Lin Rei's worried face and thinking about the 5 million exchange points, the little dragon snickered in its heart. Its mood was particularly good. How is it, kid? To be honest, Lin Rei regretted it. He regretted being too big of a mouth and agreeing without asking clearly. However, it was too late for regrets. Since he had already boarded the pirate ship, it would be difficult to get off. Stop pretending. It's not like you don't know that I don't have that many exchange points. Just tell me, what do you want me to do? Smart enough. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon smiled and said, Actually, it's nothing. You can slowly return the exchange points. But I only have one condition, and that is to quickly cultivate. When you reach the height in my heart, you must help me shape my body at all costs and make me a human. As soon as the words came out, Lin Rei immediately relaxed and thought, hey, As long as you don't make me return the money now, I'll do whatever you say. But what Linley didn't know was that helping an artifact spirit create a physical body was no laughing matter. One had to pay an enormous price. Although artifact spirits were spirits as well, in all of history, not a single person had ever succeeded in doing so. However, this was a story for another time. As for whether it would succeed or not, no one knew. Okay, I promise you. When you reach the level in your heart, I will definitely help you shape your body so that you will be like me, unrestrained by the system. You can soar freely between heaven and earth. Birds can fly in the high mountains and fish can swim in the wide seas. Seeing Linley agree so readily, Xiaolong was overjoyed in his heart. Hey kid, when the time comes, you'll know that helping an artifact spirit create a physical body isn't something you can just see. The little dragon was very satisfied with their deal. However, what Lin Rei didn't know was that he had once again been cheated by the little dragon. Perhaps when the time came, Lin Rei would regret it so much that he would cry. However, at this moment, the little dragon really didn't regret it at all. It was happy because it didn't have to give him 1.5 million exchange points immediately. Okay, let's hurry up and see what's here. This is the end of the Devil's Denver. Maybe the treasures here are even better than the ones before. After being reminded by the little dragon, Lin Rei quickly came back to his senses and looked around. At this moment, the space around him was very big. It was as big as 10 football fields. However, it was pitch black and he couldn't see anything clearly. Originally, when one reached the Immortal Emperor realm, one could ignore the darkness. However, it was completely different here. Here, Lin Rei was like a blind man. He walked around randomly and couldn't sense any direction. Use your 5 senses to feel and see what's around you. See if there's anything special. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was originally slightly flustered, suddenly calmed down. He released his 5 senses and began to sense the movements around him. It was really useful. Although he could only see things within 3 meters around him, it was still quite good. He walked forward step by step. Apart from the fact that the road was flat and there wasn't even a small pit, there was nothing else. After walking around for a while, just when Lin Rei really thought that there was nothing, the entire space suddenly lit up. The bright light made Lin Rei, who had been in the darkness, unable to adapt to it. The moment the light appeared, Lin Rei's eyes stung and he instantly closed them. The realization of the light appeared in an instant. Lin Rei wasn't even prepared for it. Damn, what's going on? Chapter 4:12. Gradually, Lin Rei opened his eyes and adapted to the light in this space. After a while, Lin Rei's eyes were completely adapted to the light. At this moment, Linley was able to see everything clearly. There wasn't a single place that Linley couldn't see. When he looked again, there was a huge altar in the center. Around the altar, there were words and symbols that Lin Rei had never seen before. However, on the walls of this space, there were wall paintings with strong Dao rhymes. Lin Rei seemed to understand some of the meanings on the wall paintings, but he was not sure. This, could it be the scene of Pangu splitting open the sky? There was a picture on the wall. It was a picture of a giant with a plate on its head and a giant lotus under its feet. It held a giant axe in its hand. It raised the axe and chopped towards the sky. It was hard not to think of the scene when Pangu split open the sky. This. Ah! The sudden pain caused Linley to shut his eyes. A drop of blood flowed out from the corner of Linley's eye, dripping down his cheek and dripping down his cheek. Damn boy, do you want to die? How dare you look at this kind of wall painting? If you were not in the Immortal Emperor realm, I'm afraid you would explode and die if you looked at it for a while more. Suddenly, the little dragon's reprimanding voice came. Lin Rei realized the seriousness of his gaffe. Because no matter what mistakes he made in the past, the little dragon had never reprimanded him like this. Okay, I got it. Suddenly, the space was silent. There was no business. Lin Rei thought that the little dragon was angry and wanted to apologize. But suddenly, the little dragon's voice came. What it said was the meaning of the painting. Listen carefully. What you said just now was correct. That was indeed the scene of Pangu splitting open the sky. However, after that, he turned into all living things and created the desolate era. At this point, the little dragon's voice carried traces of desolation. For a moment, Lin Rei's emotions were brought into the little dragon's mind. Then, little by little, Xiaolong told Linli everything that had happened. Along the way, Linli felt as though he had experienced the events himself, as though he had entered a primordial world. His horizons had been broadened greatly, and at the same time, Linli was filled with reverence towards each and every one of those gods that Xiaolong spoke of. However, what surprised Lin Rei the most was that the place he was in now was actually the place left behind by the master of the Styx River, the Styx River. Lin Rei was amazed by this. Shortly after, the little dragon finished telling the story and Lin Rei opened his eyes. As for the murals, Lin Rei didn't look at them again. After the first time, he didn't want to do it a second time. After knowing that this was the Styx River's legacy, Lin Rei no longer acted recklessly and became well-behaved. Haha, that's enough. The Styx River is no longer here. He can't see you like this, so give up on your little thoughts. Upon hearing the little dragon's voice, Lin Rei blushed instantly. In order not to let the little dragon see through him, Lin Rei quickly pretended to be calm and walked up to the altar. Haha, stop pretending. I've followed you for so many years. If I don't know your character, then I, the little dragon, would have lived in vain. After Lin Rei disappeared, the little dragon quickly followed him and walked up the steps of the altar step by step. With every step, a strong pressure would descend. Lin Rei had felt this pressure before. However, when he was still at the immortal monarch realm, he wasn't afraid at all. Now that he had broken through to the immortal emperor realm, there was nothing to be afraid of. Then, step by step, he walked up the steps and slowly arrived at the top of the altar. At this time, a card that looked like a poker card was floating in the air. There were indeed 36 drops of blood around it. At the same time, they were also floating in the air. The blood exuded a terrifying aura. Lin Rei was very familiar with this aura. This was the blood evil qi. At the same time, Lin Rei felt very familiar, as if he had seen it before or it was something that belonged to him. However, what made Lin Rei most curious was the card floating in the middle. There was a kind of formation engraved on the card. Lin Rei had never seen this kind of formation before. However, according to the vision of an Emperor Realm Array Master, he vaguely felt that the formation on the card should be the contract of Dozhong. Little dragon, come and see what kind of formation this is. I've never seen it before. Hearing Lin Rei's voice, the little dragon came to Lin Rei's side in an instant. As he spoke, Lin Rei pointed at the card floating in the air. For a moment, the little dragon's pupils shrank and his face revealed a look of ecstasy. Hurry, Lin Rei, hurry up. The first drop of blood is in. Quickly sit down and refine it. With it, you will have another helper in the immortal world. Although he didn't understand what the little dragon was saying, Lin Rei understood the literal meaning very well. Without hesitation, he sat down cross-legged and held the card in his hand. He took out the heavenly battle sword and cut a hole on his finger. A drop of blood flowed out from his finger and dripped onto the card. Swoosh! In an instant, there was a burst of brilliant light. An illusory formation suddenly appeared and rushed out of the altar. It didn't stop until it reached the boundary of the entire space. The great Tao of blood, as long as the blood is not extinguished, it will never be extinguished. Since an ancient voice rang out. Instantly, Linli's heart was filled with shock. And then, those 36 drops of blood began to slowly swell, forming into the shape of a person. Hee, I guessed right. Chapter 413. After hearing Xiaolong's words, Linli froze on the spot. His eyes were wide open, and he looked at Xiaolong with a strange expression. He thought that there was something wrong with his ears and that he had misheard. At the same time, the little dragon was also speechless when he sensed Lin Rei's expression. All right, stop looking. I'm not crazy, and neither are you. I'm just paying you in advance to help you build my body in the future. Don't fall in love with me because of this. At this moment, Lin Rei had returned to his original appearance. However, after hearing the little dragon's last sentence, Lin Rei bent over and vomited. Ha, funny, you're joking. After saying that, Lin Rei did not have the chance to talk to Lin Rei. Instead, he turned his attention to the 36 Azura clan members. Although they looked no different from ordinary people, even an ordinary person would be able to notice the aura on their bodies. The blood qi on their bodies was very majestic.
Even with Lin Rei's realm and physical cultivation, it was not as strong as any of the Azura clan members' blood chi.
Therefore, this also proved that the Azura clan was indeed a remnant of the primordial times. Moreover, they were created by the blood sea sticks. Alright, for the sake of convenience in the future, all of your original names will be abolished. From now on, you will be called Blood 1, Blood 2, and so on until you are ranked Blood 36. As for how you will be ranked, that will depend on your strength. Who is stronger, or you may have been ranked this way before.
Yes, we will obey young master's words.
After hearing Lin Rei's command, the 36 Azura clan members instantly knelt on the ground and kowtowed to Lin Rei. All of you rise. Seeing them kneel, Lin Rei felt very helpless. He then ordered, also, when I give you orders in the future, you don't have to kneel. I don't like these complicated formalities. And don't tell me no. This is the first order I give you after you become my, Lin Rei's, subordinates. If you don't obey, you will be killed. Before he finished speaking, the murderous aura was already there. Even the Azura clan, as a clan of killing, couldn't help but gasp in surprise when they felt Lin Rei's murderous aura. This was because Lin Li's murderous aura was like a vast ocean, endless and mixed with a chilling aura.
His murderous aura was originally Een, and coupled with the fact that he had fought with the corpse for such a long time, Lin Li's murderous aura was no longer the same as it was in the past.
My lord's strength is truly admirable. A resounding flattery directly landed on Lin Rei. Lin Rei wasn't a saint. After hearing the Azura clan members' words, Lin Rei was overjoyed. Ha ha ha, good, your future is limitless. Shameless. The little dragon's words made Lin Rei's good mood disappear in an instant. It was replaced by a stomach full of anger. I say, little dragon, will you die if you don't insult me? He said to Xiaolong with resentment.
Xiaolong was so heartless, and he looked as if he was very happy to make fun of him.
Lin Li was so angry that one Buddha was born, and 2 Buddhas ascended to the heavens. He was so angry that he wanted to rush up and tear open the little dragon's pants, take the heaven measuring ruler from the primordial age, and viciously slap the little dragons but a few times. Haha, okay, I won't anger you anymore.
Having seen enough and laughed enough, the little dragon suddenly changed the topic and said to Lin Rei with a serious face, "You've been away from the immortal realm for more than 50 years on the surface.
During the Xuanzong Sect celebration, you didn't leave any face for the major sections. Now that you've disappeared, perhaps there are already people spreading the news of your death. Tell me, at this time, how will you deal with those who don't accept you and are jealous of your possession of the celestial sect?" In an instant, the little dragon's words calmed Lin Rei down. It could even be said that he was worried.
Indeed, when he thought about how he didn't leave any face for the major sects in front of 50 years and even made a fool of them, now that he thought about it, the only thing they were thinking about now was how to deal with the Xuanzong sect and the celestial sect.
Hiss! You're saying... Speaking of this, Lin Rei was afraid. After leaving for more than 50 years, he didn't know the specific situation of the immortal realm. If it was like what the little dragon said, then what about his sect, his wife and children? Thinking of this, Lin Rei didn't dare to think further, because he was afraid. He was afraid that what he thought would become true.
Oh, now you know how to be afraid?
The little dragon was already aware of Lin Rei's actions, so even if the little dragon didn't see Lin Rei's appearance, he knew what would happen. Nonsense! Listening to the little dragon's nonsense, Lin Rei was really drunk. Since he knew the situation, why didn't he hurry up and say a solution? Why was he wasting time here? Then, Lin Rei was ready to turn around and head outside. However, before he took the first step, the little dragon's voice sounded again, full of helplessness. "Sai, I say, are you stupid? I've already said that you have to hurry back and rescue Tao Tai. Otherwise, it doesn't matter if you die, but I will die too." Sure enough, as soon as the words came out, Lin Rei began to hesitate. He didn't know what to do. On one side was the lives of his wife and children, and on the other side was his and the little dragon's lives. At this moment, Lin Rei was really in a dilemma. No, I can't let my wife and children be in danger. They are my life, I can't do this. Thinking of his wife and children, Lin Rei gave up his life and frantically flew towards the Devil's Denver. The 36 Shura people behind him, the moment Lin Rei moved, they followed closely behind. At this moment, apart from worry, Lin Rei was afraid. He was afraid that everything would be too late. He was even more afraid that his extreme dedication to the Tao would cause the death of his wife and children. Stop. Can you bear it? Use your brain and imagine. Even if you go now, it's already over. Moreover, you are now in the central region, while the Xuanzong sect is in the east. Do you really think you can return to the Xuanzong sect immediately? Although Lin Rei was anxious to save his wife, he hadn't lost his rationality. Lin Rei also understood the little dragon's words. Therefore, the moment he heard the little dragon's words, Lin Rei stopped. Don't you still have 3 chances to draw the lottery? You are now in the early stage of the Immortal Emperor realm. You can use the lottery to draw 3 Immortal Venerables. Isn't that enough? Leave 1 Immortal Venerable and the other 2 will follow you back. Once the Immortal Venerables appear, the sect won't be able to deal with them. Sure enough, the moment the little dragon's idea appeared, the haze in Lin Rei's heart instantly dissipated. The originally worried expression on his face disappeared and was replaced by joy. Hee, I will continue to know. I knew you would have a way. Lin Rei didn't want to waste any more time. The longer he waited, the more his wife and children's lives would be in danger. In an instant, his body disappeared from the Devil's Denver. When Lin Rei reappeared, he was already in the system. Ding dong. Welcome back to the system world. May I know what service the system has for you this time? A very human-like voice sounded, giving Lin Rei a fright. Previously, he didn't receive such treatment. Damn, what's wrong with this? Hee, this is just a small change after the upgrade. When the system life reaches a certain level, there will be more and better things for you to find. Hee, alright. Upon hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei knew that it was tempting him to hurry up and find a higher level of spiritual energy to increase the system life. Moreover, Lin Rei didn't believe that the system life wouldn't benefit the little dragon. System. Activate the mission draw system. Ding dong, okay, please wait a moment. After waiting for a short while, the system's voice sounded again. Ding dong. System activated. How would the host draw? Once, twice, or thrice? Lin Rei pondered over the system's words. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have drawn the Immortal Venerables in batches like before. This time, Lin Rei wanted to draw the Immortal Venerables again and again. Let's draw one at a time. Ding dong. Okay, please wait a moment. The mission draw system will be activated. Ding dong. The mission draw system has begun. Please wait patiently. After the system's voice finished speaking, it went silent. Then, there was no movement in the system space. It was so quiet that Lin Rei felt a little uncomfortable. Time passed little by little. In this regard, Lin Rei didn't feel anxious. Instead, he waited patiently. He didn't know how much time had passed because he couldn't feel the time in the system at all. Just when Lin Rei was a little impatient, suddenly, a wave of pressure came over. However, the moment it sensed Lin Rei's aura, the pressure shrunk instantly. However, Lin Rei couldn't forget that pressure for the rest of his life. Although it was only for a moment, Lin Rei felt as though he was struck by lightning from the 9th heaven. He didn't know where he was, and even in that short moment, he lost control of his body. That's right, it was only for a moment and he recovered immediately. Phew! Cold sweat trickled down his forehead and the back of his shirt was drenched in cold sweat. Although he was terrified, Lin Rei knew that it was the Immortal Venerables that he had drawn. Filled with excitement, he looked at the source of light in front of him. All of a sudden, a charming, refined, and devastatingly beautiful woman appeared before him. Ugh! Heh, kid, it seems like you're quite lucky with women. Some of them are really powerful.
To be able to cultivate to the Immortal Venerables level, it seems like the previous owner must be really powerful and the family behind her must be really awesome.
Chapter 4:14. Why do you say that? Upon hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei didn't understand. Although this woman was powerful, it shouldn't be enough to recognize her previous self. Heh, I'm just making a wild guess. Looking at the playful little dragon, Lin Rei rolled his eyes and left it to its own devices. The light in front of his eyes slowly disappeared as the woman's appearance became clearer and clearer. Step. At that moment, the woman in the immortal robe slowly approached Lin Rei. Without a word, She knelt on the ground and kowtowed to Lin Rei. My surname is Jean, my name is Lu Ying, and my courtesy name is Wanrong. I'm in the late stage of the immortal venerable stage. Greetings, young master. From now on, I'm your subordinate. Her name was clear and the way she introduced herself was unique. However, Lin Rei seemed to like it a lot.
He smiled and the saliva at the corner of his mouth was clearly visible.
However, Lu Ying didn't see it because he kept his head down in front of Lin Rei.
After Lin Rei sensed himself, he hurriedly wiped away the saliva at the corner of his mouth and said to Lu Ying,
Get up. From now on, stay by my side and be my bodyguard. As soon as he said that, Lu Ying, who was kneeling on the ground to show his loyalty, instantly beamed with joy. This smile was much better than that stupid smile of his. Lin Rei believed that with Lu Ying's smile, even a powerful immortal venerable or an old bald donkey who had cultivated for millions of years couldn't help but let their imaginations run wild. Yes. Hearing his master's words, Lu Ying hurriedly stood up and went behind Linley. He stood there respectfully and didn't say a word. Seeing that the first person to appear was a beauty, Lin Rei looked forward to the next two people even more. System, hurry up and draw the second immortal venerable for me. Hurry. Ding dong, okay. Please wait for a moment. Host. The system is already running. Before Lin Rei could finish his sentence, the system's voice rang out. Furthermore, it had already started operating on its own. The pain was the same as the last time. He didn't know how long he had to wait. Fortunately, this time, there was a beautiful woman standing beside him. Otherwise, Lin Rei would really be suffocated to death. However, this time, Lin Rei clearly felt that the selection process was much slower than the previous time. Ding dong, extraction complete. Lin Rei, who was meditating, suddenly heard the system's voice. Lin Rei quickly woke up, and at this moment, a man in battle armor appeared in front of him. The man was handsome, with sharp eyebrows and bright eyes. His aura was incomparably valiant, but Lin Rei still felt that his aura wasn't as strong as Lu Ying's. He wasn't sure if it was an illusion.
With a plop, the man knelt on the ground and introduced himself.
Subordinate, Ling Yu, late-stage immortal venerable. From now on, I am young master subordinate. Lin Rei listened to the man's fluent words. However, his previous thoughts were confirmed. Ling Yu was indeed not as valiant as Lu Ying. And stand up.
Looking at the man in front of him, although he wasn't as valiant as Lu Ying, he was still an immortal venerable.
Therefore, Lin Rei didn't ask for too much.
Yes, young master.
Ling Yu, who stood up, went behind Lin Rei and stood side by side with Lu Ying. He looked at Lin Rei with respect in his eyes. All right, let's go for the third time. This time, Linley didn't waste any more words and directly began the third round. However, after the third round began, Linley sat down cross-legged and stabilized his cultivation. This was because Linley knew that each round of the lottery would take longer than the previous round. As for exactly how long it would take, Linley didn't know. However, at this moment, in the immortal world, the elites of Xueqi's sect had all left for Sword Sect. Elsewhere in the immortal world, Outyan Empire, Formation Emperor Zhu Tiantong, and other elites were all heading towards Sword Sect. Everyone knew that this was a declaration of war against Xuanzong's sect. At the same time, the small sects that had been cheated by Xuanzong's sect were all excited because they were about to get their revenge. At this moment, apart from Wanbao sect and Jingtian sect, the other three major sects of the immortal world had all moved out. 2 empires had also moved out. Needless to say, the clans had also moved out. The appearance of 3 clans at the same time was something that had never happened before in the immortal world. Just the number of immortal sovereigns that had gathered this time was 3 times more than the number of Xuanzong's sect. The number of immortal monarchs was uncountable. As for those below the immortal monarch level, the number of people from the sects was even greater. This lineup completely looked like they were going to uproot Xuanzong's sect. However, all of this was unknown to Lin Rei, who was waiting for the third immortal venerable to appear in the Devil Cave in the central region, even though he had guessed that they would take action. Time passed little by little. In the blink of an eye, 6 years had passed. At this moment, only Sword Sect was left. All the clans, sects and empires had finished gathering during these 6 years of waiting. Cultivators, soldiers are trained for 1,000 days to be used in a single day. Today is the day that you all repay your sect. Today, our destination is Heaven Xuanzong Sect. This time, we must annihilate Xuanzong Sect. None of them will be left alive. If Lin Rei had been here, he would have recognized that the man who spoke so vehemently was Jian Wudi, the head of the law enforcement department of a sect. He was Jian Feng's father, Jian Wudi. Yes, we are anxious to annihilate Xuanzong Sect. At this moment, hundreds of thousands of people roared. One could imagine how powerful the airwaves were and how shocking the scene was. Okay, let's go. Phew. What's going on? Why am I so nervous? Did something happen to the sect? At this moment, this was the only thing that Lin Rei could think of. Then he began to worry. Ding dong, the extraction is complete. A ray of light appeared and then disappeared. A silhouette appeared. It was a burly man who looked very different from the previous two. With a loud bang, the man arrived in front of Lin Rei and knelt on the ground. Suddenly, his body trembled violently. Lin Rei almost lost his balance. I'm Kuei Gang, young master's subordinate. I'm at the peak of late immortal venerable realm. Young master can order me around without any complaints. Looking at Kuei Gang, Lin Rei didn't have the mood to chat with them. He immediately asked Kuei Gang to stand up and spoke in an emotional tone. You guys, although it's a little inappropriate to give you this task, it's related to the strength of the sect. I'll have to trouble you guys. As soon as these words came out, the three of them seemed to be overwhelmed by the favor. They immediately knelt down in front of Lin Rei, their eyes full of respect. We came out to deal with all kinds of troubles and enemies for young master. Therefore, young master, you don't have to say these words again. We're willing to do it. Please give us your orders, young master. As soon as these words came out, Lin Rei admired them even more. He didn't waste any more words. Kuei Gang and Ling Yu, the two of you go to the Eastern Sky Xuanzong Sect and protect the Xuanzong Sect. Kill all intruders, no matter who they are. Even if they're immortal venerables from the immortal world, so what? As soon as these words came out, Lin Rei's murderous aura burst forth. Yes, we'll follow your orders. Kuei Gang and Ling Yu were about to leave when they suddenly remembered that they didn't even know the way to the immortal world, let alone the Eastern Xuanzong Sect. Oh right, I forgot to give you a map. Looking at their indifferent expressions, Lin Rei knew the whole story. Then, he took out a jade slip and threw it to Kuei Gang. Alright, hurry up and go. Alright, bring 16 people from the Azura clan with you. You must ensure the safety of the Xuanzong Sect. As for the coordinates of the Xuanzong Sect, I've already marked them down. You'll be able to reach there by following the coordinates. Yes, we'll take our leave first. With a whoosh, Kuei Gang and the 16 people from the Azura clan disappeared from the Devil's Den. The moment they disappeared, Lin Rei's heart relaxed a lot. However, it was inevitable for him to be worried. Name, Lin Rei. Age, 324. System level, 2 cultivation. Early stage immortal emperor experience, 8549496676. 8. Chapter 4:15. However, after thinking about it, he understood that this was probably a sign that the system was going to be upgraded. However, it was also because of this that Lin Rei was curious about the changes that would happen after the third level of the system was upgraded. Now you know the benefits of upgrading the system, right? That's why you should hurry up and find a higher grade of spiritual energy. Once the system is upgraded, it'll naturally be more beneficial to you. Lin Rei was puzzled. He didn't understand why the little dragon could always easily find out what he was thinking and even come out to criticize him. It's not impossible for me to find out. The reason why I can know what you're thinking is because I'm your heart, so I naturally know what you're thinking. Ugh. After rolling his eyes at the little dragon, he didn't say anything else. Instead, he looked in the direction of the entrance of the Devil's Den. His heart was restless and uneasy. Sigh. I wonder how the Xuanzong Sect is doing now. With regards to his wife's worries, even though he had sent people over, Lin Li didn't feel the slightest bit relaxed right now. Seeing Lin Rei sigh and sigh with worry in his eyes, the little dragon couldn't stand it any longer and scolded Lin Rei. Useless thing. The most important thing for you to do now is to go to planet Aqua Blue and release the Pai Xiao.
If you can't even do this, then it'll be even more impossible for you to see your wife and child in the future because by then, you'll already be dead.
As soon as the little dragon said this, Lin Rei was stunned for a moment.
Then, he calmed down and looked at the situation calmly.
You're right.
Then, he turned around and said indifferently to the 20 Overshura clan members that Lu Ying had left behind. All of you, follow me to a place in a while.
When you're there, pay attention to hiding your new cultivation level.
Remember not to reveal your cultivation level because most of the people on that planet are ordinary people.
All of you understand.
With a plop, everyone knelt on the ground and said respectfully, "Yes, young master. We'll remember young master's orders.
We definitely won't reveal even a bit of our cultivation level."
Yes.
Seeing how everyone was treating him with such respect, Linley felt like he was about to explode with joy.
Seeing so many people who were more powerful than him standing in front of him, this was a feeling that no one else would ever experience.
All right, get up. After saying this to the people kneeling on the ground, he turned around and looked at the little dragon. All right, let's get started. I don't want to delay things over there and then delay things over here. You're worth teaching. Looking at the anxious Lin Rei, the little dragon did not waste any more words.
It waved its hand, and with a ripping sound, the space in front of it was torn apart by the little dragon.
Huff huff. Waves of heavenly dipper chi rushed out of the torn space and gently brushed past Lin Rei's cheeks. Puff. 2 blood-red wounds appeared in a flash, and purple blood flowed out in a flash. Hiss. As soon as he felt the pain, Lin Rei teleported away. Slowly, the heavenly dipper chi became denser and denser, so much so that after rushing out of the crack, it could tear the space apart. The appearance of the cracks in the space made Lin Rei panic. Celestial chi, he had personally experienced it just now.
Linley knew that his own level of training was already extremely high, but in front of the celestial chi, it had been as easy as blowing off a strand of hair.
It had directly broken through his body, leaving behind a deep and painful memory. Seeing that the torn space was getting more and more intense, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with fear. Kid, why are you afraid? Lin Rei, who was originally afraid, straightened his back the moment he heard the little dragon's words. He had a look that said, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid. Humph, what a joke. Why would I be afraid? This is ridiculous. Although his tone was firm, Lin Rei's eyes could never lie. At this moment, his eyes were full of worry, fear, and shock. Heavenly dipper chi, in the novels of the Aqua Blue planet where he lived before, there were stories about it. Pangu created the untainted land, but the sky outside the untainted land was filled with heavenly dipper chi. Even the sage-to-be at that time would be afraid of this chi, not to mention Lin Rei, who was only at the early stage of the immortal emperor realm. Not bad, kid. I didn't expect the novels of your planet to be so awesome. You even know about the heavenly dipper chi. However, it's a pity that the description of the heavenly dipper chi is wrong. Even the saints have to be careful when dealing with the heavenly dipper chi. Hiss. After hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei sucked in a breath of cold air. The look in his eyes was even more intense than before he heard the little dragon's words. Then why did you tear open the space and release the heavenly dipper chi? Damn, are you playing with me? The more he listened to the little dragon, the more Lin Rei felt that something was wrong. You knew that even the saints had to be careful, so why did you still make me suffer like this? Lin Rei felt weak all over. He complained to the little dragon helplessly. Did I ask you to go in just like that? Did I say such a thing? Looking at Lin Rei's complaints, the little dragon said helplessly to Lin Rei with a strange look in his eyes. I didn't say that. In an instant, Lin Rei felt a little embarrassed. He was the one who said everything. The little dragon didn't seem to have said anything from the start to the end. Seeing the embarrassed look on Linley's face, a smile appeared on his face. All right, in a moment, I will use my energy to envelop you. The little dragon replied instantly, Hey, this place is a very mysterious place. Not to mention celestial supremes. Even supreme gods from the god realm can't fly here. Of course, other than Dao fruit sages, everyone else is basically trash here. Once this was said, Lin Rei was stunned. His eyes were filled with shock. Dao fruit sage? Damn, what kind of realm is this?
Thinking of this and associating it with the little dragon's strength, Lin Rei was stunned for a moment. However, Lin Rei was pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised that the little dragon had such strength. Remember, don't make any noise here. Although only Dao fruit sages can come here, I never said that there weren't any living creatures here. Remember, if you're caught by a space-time beast here, not to mention you, even I have to run away quickly. With my current strength, I'm no match for a space-time beast. So, remember what I said. Remember. Looking at the cautious little dragon and the serious voice of the little dragon, Lin Rei knew that the space-time beast that the little dragon was talking about was a creature that he couldn't afford to offend. However, a terrifying thought appeared in Lin Rei's mind. Hey, wait until I'm strong enough in the future. I'll definitely come here and catch a space-time beast to be my mount. Damn you, you're crazy. How dare you have such thoughts? Let me tell you, you won't have this chance in 10,000 years. Even if it's 100,000 years, you still won't have this possibility. They couldn't wait to escape from this place so that they wouldn't be implicated. Ha, good. You're all good men. After this is over, I'll definitely reward you. At this moment, all the patriarchs, emperors, and sect masters who had brought their people here were looking at their disciples with smiles on their faces. However, although they looked calm, they weren't. At this moment, they were also secretly cheering. None of them were willing to submit to anyone. However, they were hiding in the dark. On the surface, everyone was very friendly. Of course, other than these people, the most eye-catching ones were the formation Emperor Zhu Tiantong and his disciples. They were all experts in breaking formations. This time, everyone was counting on them. However, the location of the Heaven Vault sect was clearly visible not far in front of the army. Alas! It seems that the Xuanzong sect is doomed this time. I didn't expect that the rising star would fall so soon. What a pity, what a pity! Heh, who says so? But they can't be blamed. Who asked them to be so ostentatious in their celebration? If they had said it well, it wouldn't have leaked out. But they, alas! Forget it. We're not part of the Xuanzong sect. It has nothing to do with us. Besides, the leader of the Xuanzong sect has disappeared. The Xuanzong sect can't do anything at all. At this moment, below the ground, the people from the various forces were looking at the chaotic scene in the sky. Their cultivations were off the charts. Their hearts were filled with shock, but at the same time, they were filled with yearning. However, when they talked about the Xian sect, everyone had a look of pity on their faces. However, this was very clear to the people of the Xuanzong sect. When they leaped over the east, they had already noticed it. At the same time, the moment they noticed it, Jean Ling brought her son to the front of the crowd. Even if they died, they would die first because they had to ensure the loss of the entire Xuanzong sect. Although the cultivation of the two of them was insignificant, this was her husband's sect after all. All of you protect the sect. Don't act rashly. This formation was set up by the sect leader. It must be able to block their formation. We must believe that they can't break through the formation. At this moment, Jean Ling and Jean En, who were standing at the forefront of the sect, turned around and spoke confidently to the tens of thousands of people behind them. However, they knew that although this formation was set up by Lin Rei, the number of people on the other side was not large. Whether it was 100,000 or 200,000 people, for such a large number of people, the formation in front of them to protect the sect was useless. As for whether or not it could protect the sect, even Jean Ling couldn't guarantee it. The reason why she said this was to let them gauge the morale. Yes, we swear to protect the sect with our lives. As soon as these words were said, everyone's eyes were filled with the light of death. It was as if they could already see their own end. All of this had happened so quickly, and Linley was just as relaxed as he was now. Oh woo! Just as Linley thought that he would be able to return to planet Aqua Blue in one piece, an unexpected foe suddenly appeared. Suddenly, a wolf-like roar that was similar to the roar of a dragon could be heard. Linley's expression immediately changed. He had been chatting and laughing with Linley, but upon hearing the roar of the beast, his face changed. A grave look appeared on his face. Oh no, something that I didn't want to come is coming secretly.
How unlucky.
Lin Rei felt that something was wrong. After hearing the little dragon's words, he knew that the thing that the little dragon didn't want to see was the space-time beast that the two of them had talked about earlier.
Their eyes met.
The little dragon knew what was on Lin Rei's mind and nodded at each other, indicating that Lin Rei's idea was right.
Hiss.
Lin Rei sucked in a breath of cold air, trying to calm himself down as much as possible. However, as time passed, Lin Rei found that he didn't know how to calm down at all.
Damn, little dragon, didn't you say that if we don't make any noise, that thing won't wake up? What's the situation now? Tell me.
At this moment, Lin Rei's words were incomparable.
He didn't know how to speak properly.
The space-time beast was not an immortal emperor or immortal venerable demon beast. It was an existence that even saints were afraid of.
Okay. Don't tell me first. Let me think. There must be a way, there must be. Boom. Suddenly, a sense of danger gradually became clear. The pressure also approached. Immediately, Lin Rei's back was drenched in cold sweat. Damn, little dragon, are you done yet? That thing is coming.
Lin Rei, who was stepping on the void, was filled with helplessness. At this moment, he wished that he couldn't step on the void and just fall down from here. If he died like this, it would be the end of all his troubles.
I know. I'm checking. Be patient.
The little dragon had known Lin Rei's impatient character for a day or two. Therefore, when Lin Rei urged him, the little dragon faced it with a calm smile. For a moment, no matter how angry Lin Rei was, he was helpless when he saw the little dragon's expression that made him want to cry.
Ding dong. Danger is coming. Use 2 lottery chances in exchange for 1 chance to escape. Ding dong. Time limit. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. I promise. Hurry up and exchange for me. I want to leave this place immediately.
Just when Lin Rei was helpless, the system's electronic synthesis business sounded. But at this moment, the sound was so pleasant and not harsh at all. Listening to the system's transaction, Lin Rei was very hesitant. But at the last second, when the system said it, Lin Rei agreed. In the end, his emotions won over his rationality.
Ding dong.
Congratulations to the host for successfully exchanging.
Ding ding. Host.
Although I said to escape, I didn't say to leave immediately. As soon as the system said this, Lin Rei's anger rose to a new level. It made Lin Rei have the urge to go up and tear him apart. F***ck, you can't say so much. You even used 2 of my lottery chances.
Tell me, are you?
Ding dong. Please be quiet, host. Although I said that I don't have a way to make you come over, I never said that I can't hide your body and all your vitality. This kind of concealment will make it impossible for anyone in this world to sense your existence.
Whew.
Lin Rei exhaled in one breath. In an instant, his nervous heart relaxed. The anger from before disappeared. However, Lin Rei really felt that the system had learned bad things from the little dragon.
Okay, hurry up and do it.
Feeling that the dangerous atmosphere was approaching, Lin Rei had to leave quickly. Otherwise, not to mention going back, he was afraid that there would be nothing left of him. However, at this time, Lin Rei felt that his strength as an immortal emperor was still very weak.
Ding dong. Okay, it's done. What? Done?
After hearing the system's playful words, he was suspicious for a moment. However, he immediately confirmed the system's meaning. Just when Lin Rei was questioning the system, a huge figure appeared in front of him. It was a huge figure, but it looked very domineering.
Hee hee boy, look carefully. This is the space-time beast.
Chapter 4:17. It was so close. At this moment, the space-time beasts were so close to him. Lin Rei was shocked. Lin Rei was even more certain that when he became powerful in the future, he would capture a few space-time beasts to guard the gate of the sect. Moreover, Lin Rei had a great idea. He would try to capture a few couples of space-time beasts. As long as they could reproduce, there would be many space-time beasts in the sect. The most important thing was that they could be trained from young. The little dragon saw Lin Rei's bold fantasy. At the same time, Lin Rei's ignorance gave him a headache. However, on second thought, it was not impossible.
That's enough, kid. Keep the saliva from your mouth. We have to leave quickly. There is a limit to this safety zone. It will disappear soon. At that time, you will really have no way out. Linley, who was still immersed in all kinds of fantasies, heard Xiaolong's reminder and his body shook.
He instantly came back to his senses and fled in the direction Xiaolong had pointed. He didn't want Xiaolong's words to be true and he had already disappeared safely. The consequences of that were unimaginable. He disappeared in front of the space-time beasts and fled in the direction of the aqua-blue planet. Fellow members of the Xuanzong sect, if you know what's good for you, you'd better open the gate and let us in. Otherwise, your sect will be destroyed. At this moment, the entrance to the Sky Vault was crowded with people. Hundreds of thousands of people were standing in front of the Sky Vault's entrance. Their faces were filled with murderous intent, as if their weapons had been hungry for a long time. If it weren't for the array in front of them, they would have rushed forward and killed. The person who shouted at the Xuanzong sect was recognized by everyone in the Xuanzong sect. He was Jian Wudi, the father of Jian Feng, the head of the law enforcement department of the Xuanzong sect. Although Jian Wudi's eyes were hidden, he did not hide his greed. His voice was so loud that it was accompanied by a majestic sword qi. Even from 1,000 meters away, Jian Wudi's words could be heard clearly, let alone the people of the Xuanzong sect who were only one barrier away. Why are you doing this? At this moment, inside the Xuanzong sect, which was only separated by a barrier, Jian Feng, a senior member of the Xuanzong sect, was standing in front of the group. When he heard the voice of his father, he narrowed his eyes and the corners of his mouth trembled slightly. Jian Feng's voice was bitter, and his face was as pale as a sheet of paper. Jian Feng's body trembled as he asked a few questions. He gripped his sword tightly in his hand as he lowered his head in confusion. Why are you doing this? You clearly know that I'm the head of the law enforcement department in the Xuanzong sect. Why are you colluding with them? What do you want me to do? He grimaced hoarsely as a trace of blood flowed out from the sword. His other hand that wasn't holding the sword clenched tightly. Perhaps he had used too much strength. Her nails had dug deep into her palms, but she didn't realize it. It was as if she didn't feel any pain at all. Many people saw this seriously, including Jean Ling. She understood Jian Feng's feelings at this moment. They all understood Jian Feng's feelings at this moment. If it were them, they might not have Jian Feng's temperament. Perhaps they would have rushed out long ago, pointed at their father's nose and started shouting angrily. Brother, don't be like this. Father might have his difficulties? A weak and submissive voice sounded. Suddenly, Jian Feng, who was originally confused by his father's actions, woke up slightly after hearing this voice. He turned his head and looked at his sister, Jian Lian, who was holding his arm. At this moment, his eyes were filled with fear, but more than that, he felt heartache. Perhaps it was because his emotions had affected Jian Lian. At this moment, Jian Lian's body was trembling slightly. Jian Lian, who was originally weak, was on the verge of collapsing. It was as if a gentle breeze could blow her body away. It's okay. Lian, you don't have to worry. I'm here for you. It's okay. In order to not let his sister worry, the only thing Jian Feng could do was to pull himself together and try not to let his previous emotions reappear. This was because he didn't want his sister to be worried and afraid with him. He wanted to protect his sister. Okay, she replied in a weak voice. Then, her weak body burrowed into Jian Feng's embrace and stuck close to him. Sigh. A sigh sounded from the surrounding higher-ups of the Xuanzong sect. They all knew that in the face of such a situation, the only one who was in a difficult position was Jian Feng himself. How should he make a choice when facing his father, his former family, friends, and fellow disciples? Of course, no one wanted to see their family turn against each other. However, what they didn't want to see even more was Jian Feng betraying his own sect and joining the Sword Sect to help them attack the Xuanzong sect. All right, Jian Feng. Send your sister back to the Heavenly Chen Palace. That is the main palace of the sect. Even if they break in, they will not arrive immediately. If they really break in, you should quickly take your sister and leave the sect. Do you understand? At this moment, Jean Ling really couldn't stand it anymore. She couldn't bear to let the father and son turn against each other because she also had a son. She didn't want to do this. The only thing she could do was to do this. No matter what everyone thought,
she would take responsibility for this decision. As soon as she said this, all the higher-ups of the Xuanzong sect were stunned. They didn't expect Jin Ling to make such a choice. However, they all agreed to this choice. Therefore, after Jin Ling said this, they didn't express their intentions and tacitly agreed to this matter. Hee. Looking at the actions of the higher-ups, Jin Ling knew that everyone had agreed to what she had said just now. Then, a smile appeared on her face. No. The sect has done me a favor, and the sect leader has done me a great favor. I can't take myself out of the sect's life and death situation. This won't do. After saying that, he didn't wait for anyone to speak. He immediately turned around and pulled Jian Lian out of his arms. He said to her, "Little sister, you know about what happened today. I'm destined to fight today. As for you, I don't have time to take care of you now. Be good. Go to Tianqin Palace and wait for my triumphant return. At that time, I'll definitely give you what you want." With such a righteous act, everyone had nothing to say. They didn't say anything. They all turned around and let the siblings say goodbye. Perhaps this was the last time they would see each other. But brother, Jian Lian, who was about to say something, was interrupted by Jian Feng. Don't say anything. Don't worry. I'll be fine. Sword Sect, although they came to attack, I won't fight them head-on. I'll kill others. Don't worry. As his sister, she naturally knew Jian Feng's temper. Therefore, looking at her brother's serious face, Jian Lian knew that there was no chance to retort. Yes, I know. Take this. Father said that this is my sister's dowry in the future. I'll wait for you to come back and hand it to me personally. As she spoke, she stuffed a phoenix seal hairpin into Jian Feng's hand. Then, she quickly disappeared on the spot with a red face. Humph. Come out and surrender. This is your last chance. Otherwise, you can wait for death. Just as everyone was immersed in the sadness of Jian Feng and his sister's parting, a sudden furious voice pulled everyone back to the present. Humph, Jian Wudi, you old man. When you came to my sect as a guest, what kind of face did you have? Now what kind of mouth do you have? As the leader of a sect, you're really amazing. Jin Ling couldn't stand Jian Wudi's voice. Then, she roared angrily. Suddenly, there was complete silence outside. However, when this voice reached the ears of the sect leaders, family leaders, and emperor lords, they wanted to laugh. But they had to hold it in for the sake of the sword sect leader. You. At this moment, Jian Wudi was so angry that he was about to die. He was just short of spontaneously combusting. Fine, you can do it. Since you're so stubborn, we don't need to talk nonsense. Let's fight. The exasperated Jian Wudi didn't care about the face of the sect leader anymore. Then, he turned around and gave an order to his disciples. Disciples of the sword sect, it's time for you to contribute to the sect. In a while, attack the barrier in the sky with all your strength. Remember, after you break through and enter, you must not touch the young lady of the young sect leader. Do you understand? As soon as these words were spoken, the disciples of the sword sect who were already sharpening their swords instantly straightened their backs and replied energetically. Yes, we will obey the sect leader's orders. Swish. 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 The moment the disciples of the sword sect responded, they changed. With a 3-foot sword in their hands, they charged towards the invisible barrier in the sky. More than 10,000 people. The sword sect alone had sent out more than 10,000 people. This number was equivalent to 1/3 of the disciples of the Xuanzong sect. Boom! More than 10,000 disciples released their cultivation at the same time. Even if a celestial emperor expert was here, they would have to weigh their own strength. Although this kind of strength wouldn't be enough to kill them, it would still hurt their muscles and bones. Their aura instantly soared into the sky. The disciples of the Xuanzong sect behind the barrier felt their aura and were immediately shocked. But fortunately, the Xuanzong sect was established by Lin Rui. If this was a sect like the Kunlun Immortal sect, perhaps such an aura would be able to intimidate them. However, they had miscalculated. The disciples of the Xuanzong sect were all monsters, especially the disciples brought up from the profound heaven realm. At this moment, each of them could become an overlord. Therefore, they naturally looked down on such an aura. Attack! I don't believe that this barrier can stop the disciples of the 10,000 sword sect. Attack! Attack!
Jian Wudi's order was instantly received by the disciples of the 10,000 Sword Sect. Then, the disciples of the 10,000 Sword Sect raised their long swords in unison and struck down on the barrier in the sky.
Boom!
Although the sound was shocking, after the sound, everything returned to normal. There was no change, and there was no crack in the barrier in Jian Wudi's heart.
Chapter 4:18. What? How is this possible?
Jian Wudi, who had been secretly delighted at first, couldn't find an exit when he saw the empty sky. Jian Wudi's face was extremely ugly, as if he had eaten his own feces. It was disgusting. Ha ha ha, Jian Wudi, your sect is really something. Tens of thousands of people can't even break through a sect protection array. Did you do it on purpose? That's right, sect leader Jian. You're making things difficult for us. Ha ha ha, that's enough. Maybe sect leader Jian has more powerful tricks up his sleeve. Maybe this is just a test. At this moment, the sect leaders, family leaders, and emperors who were watching the show all began to mock Jian Wudi. Suddenly, Jian Wudi's face turned red from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. At this moment, he really wanted to find a hole to hide in and never come out again. Even so, he did not want to listen to this group of despicable people laughing at him. The mocking voices of the emperors and family leaders who came with him made Jian Wudi want to rush up and kill them immediately. However, he realized that there was an anomaly among them. The Array Emperor, Zhu Tiantong. At this moment, the Array Emperor, Zhu Tiantong, was in a trance. He looked hesitant, as if he was thinking about something. He did not look at the scene at all. It could be said that Zhu Tiantong did not look at it at all. Jian Wudi was stunned when he saw Zhu Tiantong's expression. He knew what Zhu Tiantong was thinking. It was none other than Zhu Chenxi, the granddaughter of the Xuanzong sect. Oh, what's wrong? Sect leader Jian, you're done? A protruding sharp voice rang out. Jian Wudi looked up and saw a shifty-eyed man with a wretched smile looking at him. Jian Wudi knew this man. Wasn't he the family leader of the Bai family, Bai Yin? Seeing Bai Yin's sarcasm, Jian Wudi was instantly enraged. All the repressed emotions from before erupted. He teleported in front of Bai Yin, pointed at his nose and began to scold him. Humph, old man, what are you talking about? Why don't you take a look at yourself? You dare to come out and meet people like this? I really admire you. Tell me, if you look like this, then what would your wife look like? Oh, by the way, do you think it's hereditary? Ha ha. Jian Wudi, you. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. As the saying goes, one goes for wool and comes home shorn, lifting a rock only to drop it on one's own foot. At this moment, Bai Yin was exactly like that. Originally, he wanted to take this opportunity to humiliate Jian Wudi. Who would have thought that he would be humiliated instead? He had nothing to say. However, as soon as Jian Wudi finished speaking, the people from the various sects, clans, and empires began to laugh. Even some of the people who weren't afraid of the Bai family were laughing so hard that they were convulsing with laughter. As soon as this scene happened, the situation went out of control. Before they could even realize what they were thinking, the united group had already disbanded. Watching this farce, the disciples of the Xuanzong sect and the Sky Dome Xuanzong sect felt more cheerful and relaxed. However, good things didn't last long. Seeing this scene, the sect leader of the Floating Falls sect was instantly enraged. He released his late-stage immortal emperor cultivation and roared towards the sky. Enough! Enough of this joke! Have you all forgotten why you're here? Boom! The sound waves exploded in the ears of the hundreds of thousands of disciples. Instantly, everyone recovered. In just a short moment, the originally chaotic crowd returned to their usual solemn silence in the next moment. Formation Emperor, we'll have to trouble you this time. Everyone knows that the Formation Emperor's formation is famous in the immortal world. Swoosh! The sect leader of the Chenkuan sect said. Instantly, everyone's eyes locked onto the Formation Emperor, Zhu Tiantong. Everyone's eyes were filled with confidence as they looked at Zhu Tiantong. Instantly, Zhu Tiantong felt goosebumps all over his body. Although he looked good on the surface, the bitterness in his heart was unbearable. Looking at the sect leader of the Chenkuan sect,
Zhu Tiantong already hated him in his heart. At this moment, whoever stood out would be the first to be shot. As the saying goes, the gun shoots the bird that sticks out. If the Xuanzong sect wasn't destroyed, then Zhu Tiantong would be the one to bear the brunt of this. Everyone, I'm really sorry. Originally, this old man thought that this formation would be easy to solve. However, only now did I realize that this formation is actually a Grandmaster formation. With this old man's current cultivation and formation level, it's still not enough to solve this formation. The moment these words came out, the crowd went into an uproar. They didn't expect these words to come out of the mouth of the formation emperor, Zhu Tiantong. However, what shocked them even more was that this formation was actually a Grandmaster formation. They knew that in the immortal world, formation masters who could set up Grandmaster formations had already retired from the public eye. However, here, at this moment, they couldn't help but wonder if this Xuanzong sect had a strong backing behind it. Everyone started to hesitate. However, this was indeed something that the sect leader of the Xueqi sect didn't want to see. He hoped that this matter would blow up even more. It would be best if the Xuanzong sect was destroyed. Everyone listen to me. Although this is a Grandmaster formation, everyone can imagine that this place itself is very strange. Therefore, everyone need not worry. I've done my research. This Xuanzong sect doesn't have any backing behind it. Everyone had their own opinions. However, as the sect leader of the Xueqi sect, everyone still had some degree of trust. As for this Grandmaster formation, it wasn't unbreakable. After a moment of hesitation, everyone's hesitant eyes were filled with determination. They were prepared to destroy the Xuanzong sect. Seeing this, Zhu Tiantong made his decision. He didn't want to participate in this event. For the sake of his granddaughter who had died in the Xuanzong sect, and for the sake of his own life and the lives of his own disciples, he chose to withdraw. If that's the case, then this old man's cultivation is useless. Since that's the case, the formation emperor's bloodline will withdraw and not participate in this event. As soon as this was said, everyone was stunned. This action was undoubtedly saying that there was something strange about the Xuanzong sect. Without waiting for the crowd to speak, the Array Emperor dynasty led their disciples away, leaving the crowd's line of sight. At this moment, all the sects regained their senses. When they saw that the spot where the formation emperor had been standing was empty, they couldn't help but feel unhappy. However, the happiest person was none other than the head of the Xuanzong sect's formation department, Xueqi. Her grandfather didn't participate in this event. This was what made her the happiest. Congratulations. Your grandfather. At this moment, Jian Feng saw the happy Xueqi and hurriedly congratulated her. However, Xueqi noticed the disappointment that flashed across his eyes. She didn't try to persuade him. Instead, she quietly followed behind him and looked at the disappointed Jian Feng without saying a word. The departure of the formation emperor was undoubtedly good news for the Xuanzong sect. However, just as everyone in the Xuanzong sect was rejoicing, they didn't notice that the last Daluo golden immortal cultivator was slowly walking towards the sealed door. However, no one saw this scene, let alone noticed it. Laugh all you want. You are all very happy that the formation emperor has left. However, you don't know that the formation emperor is just a decoration. Everyone, did I really bet all my chips to break open the Xuanzong sect's entrance on Zhu Tiantong? No one noticed that when the formation emperor left, the sect leader of the Xueqi sect's lips curled up slightly. A treacherous smile appeared on his face, but it disappeared in an instant. All sects, empires, and families, charge forward. Use all your cultivation to break the formation in front of you. The sudden order caught everyone off guard, and they all obeyed it as if they were at the behest of gods and devils. In an instant, hundreds of thousands of people released their cultivation and began to attack the Xuanzong sect's protective formation. Boom, boom, boom. Although the formation was a Grandmaster formation, hundreds of thousands of people were not a small number. One should know that there were countless celestial emperors among them. Slowly, the formation began to tremble violently. When the people of the Xuanzong sect at the entrance saw this scene, Jean Ling panicked. Although she had seen big scenes with Lin Rui, she had never seen such a scene before. Everyone, retreat at full speed to the Vermilion Bird Palace. Be prepared to fight at any time.
The sudden order caused everyone to quickly retreat to the top of a palace 1,000 meters away from the entrance. However, far away in the central region, Ling Yu, Kuei Gang, and the other 16 Azura celestial emperors were rushing towards the east. Along the way, they heard a lot about the Xuanzong sect. Naturally, they couldn't miss out on the news of the Xuanzong sect being besieged. At this point, everyone released all their cultivation and began to fly towards the Xuanzong sect's encampment.
No, we have to speed up. If this continues, the Xuanzong sect will be hard to protect. We will be guilty of failing our duty.
Before the young master left, he told us to protect the sect without any losses.
At this moment, Ling Yu's expression was anxious.
Cold sweat flowed down his face and dripped to the ground.
Yes, we didn't do a good job. We could have finished it quickly, but we didn't expect the entrance to the Devil's Den to have such a strong restriction. If it wasn't for that restriction, we would have arrived at the sect by now. It turned out that after Ling Yu and Kuei Gang left, they came to the entrance of the Devil's Den unexpectedly. When they were about to go out, they were blocked by an extremely strong restriction and were bounced back. It should be known that Kuei Gang and Ling Yu were celestial emperors. Although they were blocked by a restriction, in order to complete the task as soon as possible, they were finally able to escape after 5 days. Then, they quickly rushed to the Xuanzong sect's encampment. Chapter 419. Oh no, mistress, look. At this moment, the members of the Xuanzong sect had retreated to the back of the Vermilion Bird Palace. The head of the law enforcement department, Jian Feng, suddenly saw a person wearing the uniform of the Xuanzong sect. He was holding a token and was already in front of the seal. What was even more unbelievable was that the person had already placed the token in front of him and was about to activate the seal. Seeing this scene, a sense of danger suddenly surged in his heart. He quickly reported to Jin Ling and instantly rushed towards the disciple in front of the prohibition at full speed. Jian Feng's voice caught everyone's attention. Immediately after, everyone's gaze turned towards the direction where Jian Feng was going. Someone had already placed the token in the slot to open the enchantment. Everyone was shocked. Then, they felt a sense of danger. At the same time, the same thought appeared in everyone's mind. There was a traitor. Boom! Suddenly, there was a loud sound. Then, the seal that protected the entire Xuanzong sect disappeared. Then, the door opened. Jian Feng, who was the first to realize that something was wrong, stopped abruptly and stared blankly at the scene before him. Creak, creak. A scene that no one wanted to see happened. At this moment, the door of the Xuanzong sect was slowly opening. However, the members of the Xuanzong sect looked disappointed and alert. They looked as if they were ready to die. On the other hand, the allies who were trying their best to attack the seal smiled when they saw the door slowly opening. Ha ha ha, look! The door of the Xuanzong sect is opening. Ha ha, that's right. It seems like the heavens are going to destroy the Xuanzong sect. In an instant, the passers-by who were watching this scene started to laugh at the Xuanzong sect's misfortune. It wasn't just these passers-by. The allies were elated as well. However, the happiest person was none other than the Grandmaster of Qianquan's sect. He had heard about this matter from the Qianquan sect leader. Initially, he had asked the Qianquan sect to investigate the sect that had suddenly appeared. Who would have thought that 100 years later, this sect was actually established by the disciples of the Xuanzong sect? Therefore, he had ordered the Qianquan sect leader to be on standby. Now, he had even obeyed the orders of the Qianquan sect leader and opened the door to the Xuanzong sect. Therefore, the outcome was completely within the control of the Qianquan sect leader. You bastard! At this moment, Jian Feng, who was standing not too far away, was prepared to sacrifice himself for the sect. Grasping the 3-chi chilling light of a top-grade immortal artifact in his hand, Jian Feng had already grasped the myriad sword formula. He utilized it on his face, ready to charge forward at a moment's notice. Sect leader, you're the one who gave me the strength I have today. Even if I have to sacrifice my lowly life, I will fight to the last one until I die. Boom! Using the cultivation method, the cultivation of the golden immortal electric lamp gall rushed out in an instant. Looking at the cultivators who could not wait to rush in, Jian Feng could no longer hold back the cold light on his body and rushed out in an instant. The long sword in his hand seemed to be alive. Sword Qi flew out automatically without Jian Feng's control and rushed toward the cultivators who rushed in. However, when this happened, the traitor of the Xuanzong sect took advantage of this gap and rushed out of the sky dome boundary. He came to the side of the Qiankuan sect leader who was in the sky outside. He nodded his head and bowed curiously as if he was asking for a reward. It was as if a husky was afraid of a dog. After seeing this scene, the sect masters, emperor lords, and family heads were no fools. They instantly understood what was going on. Haha, no wonder they couldn't wait to attack the Xuanzong sect. It turns out that they have planted a disciple of the Qiankuan sect in the Xuanzong sect. TSK. 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 What a vicious move. Sigh, that's right. When we get back, I have to check my disciples to see if there are any spies from other sections. The actions of the Qiankuan sect shocked everyone, including the Xuanzong sect. They didn't expect that under such good conditions, there would still be people who would do such a thing. However, at this moment, they didn't have the time to think about such things. Now that the enemy had broken through their doorstep, what they wanted to do most was to pick up the weapons in their hands and kill the invaders. Of course, that was what they did. Jian Feng was covered in blood from head to toe. However, it was all someone else's blood. As for Jian Feng, it could be said that he could hold back 10,000 men by himself. The invincible aura he exuded frightened the invaders. As the saying went, one step kills one person. At this moment, Jian Feng was most fitting of this saying. Not only did he kill one person with one step, but he would also kill many people with each step he took. Basically, Jian Feng had passed through the corpses of his enemies. This aura ignited the blood of all the disciples of the Xuanzong sect. Jian Feng's actions made all the disciples of the Xuanzong sect want to learn from him. Ha! Uncontrollably, all of the Xian sect disciples let out a loud roar at the same time. Their aura instantly rose, accompanied by a murderous aura. At this moment, they could no longer control their aura. Boys, this is a crisis for our Xuanzong sect. Our Xuanzong sect has never caused trouble. However, we are willing to use our strength and we are never afraid of trouble. If others bully us, what do you think we should do? Looking at the expressions of the crowd, Jean Ling quickly stepped forward and roared at them. Her tone was full of murderous aura and stubbornness. In an instant, he disappeared. When he reappeared, he was in front of the immortal emperors on the other side. As the saying goes, one must pick the soft persimmon to pinch. When Tian Yun reappeared, he was beside an early-stage immortal emperor. Heh, since you have come to the Xuanzong sect, you should be prepared to be killed. As soon as these words were spoken, the immortal emperor reacted. Just as he was about to counterattack, he suddenly felt a sharp pain at the back of his neck. His body went soft and fell to the ground. After that, his vitality slowly disappeared. However, the moment he killed the first immortal emperor, Tian Yun disappeared again. He circled around the low-level immortal emperors. This scene made Bing and Ming feel helpless. They looked at each other and in an instant, more than 10 immortal emperors rushed out. Each of them took out their special skills and the chaotic battle began. However, the ones who felt the most heartache were those sects, empires and clans that came to besiege the Xuanzong sect. To them, the immortal emperors were their top forces. Seeing the number of immortal emperors they brought being killed and the number of immortal emperors was decreasing, their hearts ached. How can this be? They are all immortal emperors. Even if they were slightly weaker, they shouldn't have been killed in a single move. This is impossible. At this moment, Jian Wudi's face was filled with fear. He had never seen such a terrifying strength. If he had known that an immortal emperor of the same realm could be killed in a single move, he wouldn't have been killed even if he didn't fight for several days and nights. However, what he saw now was the truth. The immortal emperors of his sect were killed by the Xuanzong sect's immortal emperors in a single move. This was a great humiliation. At the same time, it was also a loss for his sect. Such an existence, I don't know how that brat from the Xuanzong sect trained them. To think that an immortal emperor could kill an immortal emperor of the same realm with a single move. Such a thing has never happened before in the immortal world. Then, she turned around and saw the existence of ice. Hee hee, thank you, thank you. Plop.
Perhaps because she was too tired, she fainted in Bing's arms after saying this to him.
Sister Jinling. Are you all right? Looking at the unconscious Jinling, Bing Shana became anxious. Then, a pure immortal qi was transferred into Jinling's body. Bing helped her recover from her previous injuries. After everything was done, Bing finally breathed a sigh of relief. Phew, luckily you're fine. Otherwise, even if I had more of you, it would be useless. However, she did not know that her actions were unintentionally seen by the Xueqi sect leader in the air. He had an idea and an idea appeared in his mind. To catch bandits, first catch the leader. Since you guys are so stubborn, don't blame me. Xiao. Time to sleep. The Xueqi sect leader took the initiative. As the leader of a sect, no matter what, he still had some skills. His speed was extremely fast and in an instant, he appeared beside Bing. Bang! Bing was sent flying by the Xueqi sect leader. Jinling was naturally taken away by Xueqi sect leader. Perhaps because he was too worried about Jinling's existence, he was not vigilant of his surroundings. He did not expect that he would let the other party escape. A mouthful of blood spurted out from Bing's mouth. In an instant, Bing's entire face turned pale. Plop-a-plop. After flying 100 meters, Bing landed on the ground and rolled one round before coming to a stop. You. Looking at Jinling who had been taken away, Bing could only trust him. After all, Jinling was the backbone of the Xueqi sect and it was Lin Rei's aura. She could not let it be threatened. Old man, you are a sect leader. How dare you attack the emperor so shamelessly? How shameful. Bing had no choice. In order to not let Jinling be threatened, he could only do this. Hee, stop pretending. Lin Rei's wife is in my hands. Tell me, what should you do? After saying that, Xueqi sect leader grabbed Jinling's neck. In the air, he used his cultivation to remind the Xuanzong sect members, stop. Your sect leader's wife is in my hands. Put down your weapons and I will let you go. Otherwise, I don't know what will happen. Xueqi sect leader's hand tightened around Jinling's neck. Jinling's face flashed with a painful expression, but she was the first to cry out. However, Xueqi sect leader's method was still effective. Sure enough, after hearing Xueqi sect leader's voice, all the Xuanzong sect disciples stopped their weapons and looked up at Xueqi sect leader. Everyone's face was full of anger. Quick, let my mother go. Otherwise, I will kill all of you. Suddenly, Jin En, who was in the crowd, saw that his mother had been caught. He instantly rushed out of the crowd and roared at the crowd. The murderous intent in his eyes was very chilling. Looking at those eyes that could eat people, everyone was stunned. Quick, Kenner, quick. Go back, don't worry about me. Looking at her son, Jinling instantly panicked. At this moment, her son stood out. He was undoubtedly treated as the target of public criticism. At the heart of the storm, it would definitely be very dangerous. This was not what she, as a mother, wanted to see. However, the more she did not want things to happen, the more they always happened. Lin Rei's son. Since it's like this, I will kill him first. I will let all of you know that Xueqi sect leader is a man of his word. Whoosh. While everyone was in a daze, a cold light at the speed of light appeared in front of Jin En's chest. Without any hesitation, it directly pierced through Jin En's body. No. A furious roar came out of Jinling's mouth. Unfortunately, it was too late. At this moment, Jin En, who was still there, had a hole in his chest. Blood slowly flowed out from it. Killed. Simple and decisive, ruthless and dignified. Everyone was dumbfounded. They did not expect Xueqi sect leader to be so shameless as to use someone else's wife as a bargaining chip to win. They did not dare to agree with this. A scream came out of Jinling's mouth. Tears flowed out of her eyes without any regard for her life. However, these tears were not colorless, but blood-red. Yes, it was blood. Watching her own son die in front of her, and being unable to do anything about it, was such a heart-wrenching thing. Chapter 421. This scene shocked everyone present. Of course, as the mother of the deceased, she was quite sad, desperate, and disheartened. Looking at her lifeless son lying on the ground, Jinling really wanted to avenge him, but she knew that she would not be spared today. When the people of the Xuanzong sect saw the corpse of the young master, Jin En, they originally wanted to stop it, but they did not have the time. Ah! Jinling's hoarse voice made everyone present tremble in fear. They even felt as if their bodies were frozen, and they were rooted to the ground. Looking at Jinling, who was being strangled by the heaven and earth path, Bing's eyes were filled with guilt. He came back to the ground with tears flowing down his face. He said to Jin En, I'm sorry, I'm useless. I couldn't protect the young master. I'm sorry. Bing's actions stunned everyone. They did not understand, but Jinling did understand what Bing meant. Ha ha, ha ha ha. She laughed. After hearing Bing's words, Jinling laughed. However, no one present wanted to hear such laughter a second time because such laughter made them feel cold all over. Especially the bone-chilling coldness. It was as cold and heartless as 10,000-year-old ice. Get up. This is not your fault. The fault is that this group of people should be killed, but no one can stop them. I'm laughing because I can't see them die because of my anger. I'm laughing because my son is dead, but my Lin family is not extinct. I'm laughing even more at this group of inhumane bastards. Words that made everyone ashamed came out of Jinling's mouth. However, everyone could tell that she was joking because they all knew that when a person said something before they died, 90% of them were true. Especially when they looked at Jinling's ruthless and cold face at this moment, everyone felt that what she said was true. All of you, just you wait. Someone will definitely avenge my son and me. Don't worry, my son and I will definitely walk very slowly on the Nine Nether path. We will wait for you. Crack. Ah! Suddenly, a voice that made one's hair stand on end sounded. After hearing Jinling's words, the heaven and earth path directly cut off Jinling's hand. This kind of pain appeared on a woman's body. No one would be able to endure it, let alone a woman. Humph, don't you want to say it? Since you want to say it, don't you dare faint. Then, this spirit energy directly sealed the wound on Jinling's arm. In an instant, the wound stopped bleeding, but the pain still eroded Jinling's will. Crack. Ah! Before anyone could react, Jinling's other arm also disappeared. Instead, blood spurted out. This scene was so bloody that no one dared to look directly at it. There were even some people who were unwilling to see this scene. They immediately turned around and sealed their hearing. Ah! No! The people of the Xuanzong sect saw that their mistress was humiliated by the heaven and earth path. They looked at Jinling, who had lost her arm and was in pain. As disciples of the Xuanzong sect, they were powerless in front of the scene in front of them. This was undoubtedly a huge blow to their hearts. Even if today passed, it would still be an obstacle to their future cultivation. Heaven and earth path, you old bastard. How dare you bully my mistress inside? Aren't you afraid that my sect leader will destroy your entire sect? At this moment, the black shadow from the dark sect who had followed Lin Rei for a long time could no longer bear it. He immediately said it out loud and pointed at the heaven and earth path, threatening them with indignation. Heaven and earth path, you old bastard, just you wait. Even if you kill my Xuanzong sect today, when my sect leader returns, he will exterminate your sect. At this moment, the people of the Xuanzong sect were no longer afraid of death. They only hoped that the heaven and earth path could give Jinling a quick death and stop her from being tortured like this. Taoist friend heaven and earth, we came here today just to destroy the Xuanzong sect. There's no need to do this. Look at Jinling. She's a woman. Isn't it against the righteous path and against your conscience to attack her like this? That's right, Taoist friend. You've gone too far. F***CK, you should just kill Lin Rei's wife directly. That's right. Brother Woody is right. Taoist friend heaven and earth. Hurry up and kill her. You don't have to do this to them. At this moment, the people who came with the heaven and earth path couldn't stand it anymore when they saw how cruel the heaven and earth path was. They immediately tried to persuade the heaven and earth path. However, fortunately, they still had a lot of face. After listening to everyone's explanation, the heaven and earth path had no choice but to agree. Okay, today I'll do you a favor. I'll kill Jinling right away. Humph, just you wait. Sooner or later, I'll kill all of you one by one. At that time, I'll make you beg for death. Although the heaven and earth path's face was full of smiles, his heart was extremely gloomy. Puff, puff. She was killed. Blood gushed out and fell from the sky like rain. However, when this scene appeared, everyone's eyes narrowed, their pupils contracted, and their faces were full of anger. Although the heaven and earth path agreed to kill Jinling, they didn't say how to do it. However, no one expected that the heaven and earth path would be so cruel. Even if she died, she didn't leave a way out for others. Her head, arms, and legs were all separated. Her death was so cruel that it was unbearable to look at. In the sky above the central region of the Pacific Ocean on planet Aqua Blue, Lin Rei, who had returned from the immortal realm, had arrived at the place where the Pishio was imprisoned. "Heh, I'm finally back." Along the way, I've really experienced 81 difficulties. At this time, Lin Rei's clothes were ragged and his hair was disheveled. He looked exactly like a beggar. Hey, you still have the nerve to say that. In the space, I told you not to move around, but you didn't. Every time, you're so busy. Remember, if you do this again, don't say that I didn't warn you. At this time, the little dragon, who had been following closely beside him, lectured him with a sullen face. Ah! Suddenly, just as Lin Rei was about to jump into the sea, he felt a sudden pain in his chest and tears flowed from his eyes unconsciously. What's wrong? The little dragon's heart skipped a beat when he saw Lin Rei's situation. He quickly came forward and asked with concern. However, at this moment, Lin Rei's soul seems to have left his body. He didn't hear the little dragon at all. The pain in his heart is getting stronger and stronger. This kind of pain is something that Lin Rei has never experienced before. Hey boy, don't scare me. Did you hear me? Hiss, I say, why are you? After hearing no reaction from Lin Rei, the little dragon shouted again. But halfway through, Lin Rei covered his chest with his hand and explained to the little dragon with eyes full of sorrow. I don't know why, but just now, my heart suddenly hurt, as if I lost something important. My heart is very sad. As he spoke, he touched his cheek with one hand. Tears stained his hand. At this moment, he was even more certain that something must have happened. Otherwise, with his immortal emperor cultivation, this kind of situation wouldn't have happened at all. Well, let's not talk about it first. Hurry up and go into the sea. It's not easy to come here, so you should quickly unlock the seal of the Pishio. Only then can you return to the immortal realm. Moreover, your life won't be in danger. Having known Linli for so many years, Xiaolong knew Linli's temperament well. Although Xiaolong couldn't say that he was 90% certain, he was certain that Linli would listen to him. As long as one wasn't a fool, they would be able to understand the meaning of the little dragon's words. Sure enough, after hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei gave up the idea of returning to the immortal realm immediately. Instead, he wasted no time and plunged directly into the Pacific Ocean. In front of Tianqiong Mountain in the immortal realm, the scene at this moment was very solemn. The smell of gunpowder was very oppressive. Old man, you dare to kill the mistress of the Xuanzong sect. Today, I'll fight with you. Kill him. At this moment, Jian Feng was at the end of his patience. After all, he owed Linli a great debt of gratitude. Now that he saw his benefactor's wife being killed with the help of his father, Jian Feng couldn't help but charge forward. His cultivation base instantly soared. With a top-grade immortal artifact in his hand, he began his massacre once again. However, Jinling's death ignited the bloodthirst of the Xuanzong sect brothers. If he had known earlier, Jinan would have treated them very well. Hee, jumping clowns, all of you can die for this sovereign. The heaven and earth path seemed to have expected such a scene. When he saw this scene, a treacherous smile appeared on his face, just like when his scheme was about to succeed. Heaven and earth technique, heaven and earth destruction, one palm. Kill. The heaven and earth path's cultivation of the exceptional realm of the celestial emperor was released instantly. A giant palm appeared in an instant and fell directly from the sky. It didn't matter if the person was a disciple of the Xuanzong sect or not, the palm directly slapped down fiercely. Bang! A loud sound rang out, causing everyone present to reveal a shocked expression. However, at the place where the heaven and earth path had slapped, a huge handprint appeared. At the same time, the huge handprint was filled with corpses. There were hundreds of corpses, and none of them were spared. However, most of the corpses were not from the Xuanzong sect. They were disciples from various sects, empires, and families. When this scene appeared, everyone was unwilling. They had watched these dead people grow up. Some of them were even close to them. Now they were all dead, slapped to death by the heaven and earth path's palm. Although they were in an alliance now, everyone was selfish in their hearts. At this moment, after seeing their disciples die, Jian Wudi, Xian Dao, and the others were unwilling. Among the dead disciples, the disciples of the Kunlun Immortal Sect and the Sword Sect were the most, followed by the Proud Moon Empire and the others. Heaven and Earth Path, you're too ruthless. You even dare to kill the disciples of the Sword Sect. Are you courting death? Chapter 422. As the sect leader of the Sword Sect, he could not bear to see his disciple die tragically. At the same time, he did not want to see the Heaven and Earth Sect being so arrogant, so he immediately reprimanded them. After one person spoke, the others became even more unscrupulous. After hearing Jian Wudi's reprimand, the others also began to criticize the Heaven and Earth Sect for strangling their own disciples to death. That's right. Heaven and Earth Sect, what are you trying to do? They were all the mainstays of our sect. Now that they were killed by you, tell us, what should we do about this? Yes, tell us. At this moment, the sects of those who were killed by the Heaven and Earth Sect all began to argue with the Heaven and Earth Sect. However, Bing had already gone crazy. She turned a blind eye to the dispute between the sects and empires in the sky. At this moment, she looked at Jean Ling, who was torn apart by the Heaven and Earth Sect, and Jean En, who was killed by an arrow through his chest, with tears in her eyes. Plop. Bing knelt on the ground with a sorrowful expression and kowtowed to Jean Ling. Sister Jean Ling, I'm sorry. I didn't protect well. Back then, young master asked me to protect but now, is dead. I've let young master down, and I've let you down even more. I'm sorry that I couldn't let you suffer less. I'm sorry. Bing's voice trembled in front of Jean Ling, and her body was extremely cold at this moment. However, after the fierce battle, more than half of the original tens of thousands of disciples had died. Even 3 of the 12 celestial emperors had died, and 9 of them were killed. This was the most difficult challenge in the history of the Xuanzong sect. Plop. Plop. The remaining members of the Xuanzong sect all came behind Bing, knelt down, and coughed deeply at Jean Ling's corpse. Then, they began to mourn in silence. Looking at this scene, Bing was sobbing silently. Her tears had dried up, and she could no longer shed a single tear. Ah! An angry roar rang out, waking up the people of the Heaven and Earth sect who were arguing. At the same time, the disciples of the Xuanzong sect, who were in silent mourning, were also awakened. Everyone looked at Bing, who was kneeling on the ground, and roared to the sky with hostility. My dead brothers and mistresses, don't worry. If we don't die today, we will definitely uproot all the sects, empires, and families that come here. I don't care if their families are here or not. We will definitely make all the people who participated in the siege today pay with their blood. None will be left alive. His words were so cold that Jian Wudi and the others were shocked. At the same time, the people of the Xuanzong sect were agitated when they heard Bing's words. That's right. If we don't die today, we will definitely kill them all in the future. Let them all accompany you. Brothers, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Boom. Suddenly, the moment they finished speaking, the sound of thunder resounded in the sky, as if acknowledging their words. Hiss. Others didn't understand, but the sect leaders, emperors, and family heads of the major sects knew that this was the acknowledgement of their words by the heavens and earth. It meant that this enmity had been formed, and it would be irreconcilable until one of them died. One of the 2 sides had to die. Otherwise, the one who betrayed the oath would be destroyed by the thunder tribulation. Humph, since you don't want to live, don't blame us for being ruthless. You know that cultivation is something that can't be erased in a lifetime. The only way now is to kill all the people in front of you. Leave no one alive. Sect. At this point, the heaven and earth path glanced at Jian Wudi, who had an ugly expression on his face, and said, "Similarly, your son, Jian Wudi, has joined the Oath-taker's side. He will fight us to the death for all eternity, unless we die." Hearing this, the crowd looked at Jian Wudi with sympathy. At the same time, they rejoiced in their hearts. Fortunately, my son is not here." This sentence echoed in the hearts of all the sect leaders. Of course, Jian Wudi was the most upset at this moment. He couldn't accept that his son had become his enemy. "Humph, take care of yourselves." Jian Wudi growled at the sympathetic gazes of the crowd and the words of the heaven and earth path with a cold face. Well, in this case, don't bother. Let's make it quick. Let's work together and use your best martial arts to kill him. What do you think?" At this time Bai Yinan, the family head of the Bai family, stood out and said to the crowd.
However, because of what had happened before, he couldn't say it out loud.
Sure enough, as soon as Bai Yinan's idea was mentioned, the crowd immediately agreed with him. Well, let's do it. Let's start. Everybody agreed. Immediately after, they took out their own weapons and used their own powerful skills.
They immediately aimed their weapons at Bing and the other disciples of the Shen sect who were kneeling on the ground.
Grey Wolf Sea Moon. Twist.
Flowing Cloud and Flying Snow Seal.
Sky Star Palm. Destroy heaven and earth. Powerful martial arts skills that were rarely seen were all used at this moment. The last one was Jian Wudi. After thinking for a while, he finally decided to take action. "Sigh, that's all. Don't blame me. Who told you to stand with Shen Zong and make such a vicious oath? Don't blame me." Swordsmanship Code, Sealing Rain Sword, Sword Sealing Rain, One Sword Celestial. The Swordsmanship Code, the most powerful martial arts skill of the Swordsmanship sect, was used smoothly by Jian Wudi under the water cloud flowing sword. Streaks of terrifying sword chi filled the surroundings, as if everything would be strangled. It was terrifying. Cruel and merciless. Sure enough, Jian Wudi still thinks that his life is more valuable than his son's in front of his own. Jian Wudi's action was undoubtedly telling the crowd that his life was very valuable. Even if it was his own family in front of him, as long as they stood in his way, he would crush them. Similarly, Jian Feng, who was kneeling on the ground, felt the aura of the Swordsmanship Code. He immediately looked up at the sky and saw his father, whom he had always respected, holding a sword and pointing it at him. He had to be cautious, ruthless, and sorrowful. Sure enough, he still wants to kill me. Looking at his father, Jian Feng said with a miserable smile and a self-deprecating tone. Well, we don't need such things in the future. In this case, we can only fight to protect our lives. Don't forget, the blood debt we bear is all their lives. Bing's words brought the crowd back to their senses. Everyone spoke to the Xuanzong sect with hostility and murderous intent. Let's fight. If we don't die in this battle, we will massacre all the sects and families and make them pay a painful price. In the sky, Jian Wudi and the others shouted loudly. Immediately, the martial arts skills that they had been accumulating for a long time could no longer be held back. With a strong pressure and a terrifying aura, they instantly arrived in front of Bing and the others. Seeing the attack so close, Bing and the others felt that their bodies were gradually turning cold, as if they were about to become corpses. Is God going to kill us? Looking at their dead brothers and sisters, looking at the dead mistress and young sect master, and looking at the attack that was so close to them, they felt powerless and closed their eyes, waiting for death to come. However, at this moment, in the sky outside the sect, a group of people was rushing over. When they saw that the Xuanzong sect's disciples were about to die, the young man in the lead immediately released his cultivation, followed by an appropriate amount of immortal spiritual qi. With a wave of his sleeve, the Grim Reaper, who was originally close to Bing, disappeared. However, Bing and the others did not know that after waiting for a long time, they did not feel any pain. Slowly, they opened their eyes. In an instant, a group of people with powerful cultivation had appeared in front of them. Facing these people who had suddenly appeared, Bing did not know who they were, but he could see that they did not have any hostility. However, what shocked the people from the Chen sect was that they knew that the martial arts skills that they had just released could not be so easily neutralized. However, the scene in front of them was real. Who are you? Why are you interfering with the affairs of the Chen sect and the other sects? Do you want to disappear along with the Xuanzong sect? At this moment, Bing and the others could no longer tolerate the fact that these people had neutralized his attacks silently. This was the first time in his life that he had ever been humiliated like this, and it made him very unhappy. Ha! The man in the lead laughed coldly. Then he turned around and said to Bing, who had already stood up, in a gentle tone, "We are from the Xuanzong sect, and this is the territory of the Xuanzong sect." Hearing this, the people from the Chengkuan sect, including Bing and the others, narrowed their eyes. Although the other party did not have any killing intent, they still had to be wary of him.
With caution, they prepared themselves for battle and responded to the man's words.
"That's right. This is the territory of the Xuanzong sect. We are the only remaining disciples of the Xuanzong sect. May I know who you are?" At this moment, Bing used the word sir to address the young man. This was because she had just checked the young man's cultivation level.
However, she did not expect that the young man in front of her had no cultivation level at all. It could even be said that he was an ordinary person.
For this reason, there were two possibilities.
First, the man in front of her was indeed an ordinary person. Second, the man in front of her was so powerful that she couldn't even sense his cultivation.
These two possibilities were the easiest to explain and the easiest to accept. However, after Bing gave an affirmative response, the young man smiled. Chapter 423. Hee. We were sent back by the young master to guard the sect.
The young master had a premonition that if we left the sect for too long, the other sects would be dissatisfied and even besiege us.
Therefore, he sent us back to guard the sect. As he spoke, Ling Yu turned around and looked at the bloody battlefield around him. He smiled miserably, and his face instantly turned cold. However, it's obvious that we were too late. At this point, Ling Yu and the other 18 people lowered their heads and spoke to the remaining people of the Xuanzong sect with eyes full of guilt. However, Ling Yu's words were not taboo for everyone. The moment Ling Yu said this, the people of the Heaven and Earth path were all shocked.
This was because the people who had suddenly appeared in front of them were not ordinary cultivators.
There were even two people whose realms they could not perceive. At this point, they suddenly thought of a very frightening possibility. No, it can't be. The rules of the immortal realm are under the supervision of Tendo. This kind of thing can't happen. I must have thought wrong. Yes, I must have thought wrong. At this time, the Heaven and Earth path's thoughts were exactly the thoughts of everyone who had besieged them.
However, because they were very clear about the order and rules of the immortal realm, they would rather choose the opposite answer.
They did not want to believe it, nor did they dare to believe it. If this matter was really as they thought, then this matter would be very serious. They besieged the Xuanzong sect and even killed the disciples of the Xuanzong sect and Lin Rei's wife and children. Just like the oath of the remaining people of the Xuanzong sect, their sects, empires, and families would no longer exist. So what if they had the descendants of the celestial venerables? This matter would not change at all. Young master. However, Bing's thoughts were completely different from theirs. The moment he did not hear Ling Yu's words, Bing's heart completely collapsed, and tears flowed out from his eyes uncontrollably. However, when he thought of the dead Jean Ling and Jean En, Bing instantly lost control of himself. He felt even sadder and more helpless. Not only did Bu Bing cry, even the disciples of the Xuanzong sect who had never stopped fighting, including Lin Wanyu and the other 4 disciples. At that time it was not because they were afraid. Instead, it was because they had learned that their master Lin Rei was fine, and that the rumors from before were all lies. Sorry, we're late. But don't worry, the sects, clans, empires, and sects that participated in the siege will all pay the price of annihilation. Looking at his fellow sect members in front of him, Ling Yu could empathize with their feelings. After saying that, Ling Yu's face was cold and emotionless. He looked coldly at the enemies in the sky outside of the Xuanzong sect. There was only one thought in Ling Yu's mind, and that was to suppress them all and wait for Lin Rei to come back and deal with them. However, the moment Ling Yu's words left his mouth, the Heaven and Earth path and Jian Wudi were frightened. They knew that the 2 reinforcements of the Xuanzong sect in front of them were very powerful. They were so powerful that they had no power to fight back. Even so, they would not allow themselves to be captured without putting up a fight.
They were the leaders of their sects, and behind them were the disciples of their sections. If they retreated at this moment, it would not only bring about death, but also the complete destruction of their sections. It would not be long before their sects were completely destroyed.
Senior,
We're just here to reason with the Xuanzong sect. The conflict was purely an accident. You're an expert of the immortal venerable realm. Tendo has already made it clear that immortal venerables in the immortal world are not allowed to interfere with the affairs of the sects in the immortal world.
Aren't you afraid of Tendo's punishment?
He was indeed the leader of a sect. At this time, he was still able to remain calm in the face of danger. Moreover, he was able to use Tendo as a threat. Even Bing and the others were impressed by his wisdom and rationality. But so what? They still couldn't avoid the fate of death, because this was the oath they had sworn. However, Ling Yu didn't say anything after hearing the words of the heaven and earth path. Instead, he laughed heartily. His eyes were filled with contempt and disdain. He looked at them as if he was looking at a few clowns.
Ha ha ha, idiots. When did I say that I'm going to do it myself?
Kuei Gang, who had been silent all this while, finally spoke. His voice was rough, and his appearance was similar to the way he spoke. However, he seemed to be a very decisive person. As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. Immediately, the group of people from the heaven and earth path heaved a sigh of relief, and the tension on their faces receded. However, the expressions of Bing and the others behind Ling Yu changed drastically. Just as they were about to ask why, Kuei Gang's voice was heard again. The group of people from the heaven and earth path who were filled with joy when they heard Kuei Gang's words changed their expressions instantly. When they heard Kuei Gang's words, they were dumbfounded. I said that we won't do anything. However, we didn't say that we won't use our cultivation to suppress all of you in the barrier. Furthermore, Kuei Gang took a deep breath. Obviously, he was trying to distract the heaven and earth path and mess with their minds. Furthermore, Tendo? Haha, so what if you're Tendo? We've been in the Xuanzong sect for a long time. We have nothing to do with Tendo, and we're not something that Tendo can control. As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. After he finished speaking, Venerable Qian Kuan, who was sitting in the central palace, disappeared. As for the east, west, south, north, and south venerables, they also disappeared from their territories the moment Qian Kuan disappeared. Although the 33 layers of heaven were also in the immortal realm, they weren't in the immortal realm. They were in a separate space and were very far away from Miss Li. However, with their cultivation, they would be able to reach the immortal realm in less than a year. Boom boom. On planet Aqua Blue, in the deepest part of the Pacific Ocean, Lin Rei had already arrived at the place where the Paishio was sealed. Finally, I've finally found it. If I had known this, I would have left a strand of divine sense here so that it would be easier for me to find it in the future. Alas, I can't be like before, randomly searching left and right. It turned out that after Lin Rei came to the Pacific Ocean, he was able to determine where he found the place where the Paishio was sealed. In addition, 100 years had passed, so the geographical changes were also very big. He went deep into the Pacific Ocean but lost his direction. Then, according to the memory of 100 years ago, he began to search. After a few days, he vaguely saw the mountain that he saw 100 years ago. You still have the nerve to say that. You left in a hurry. How can you blame anyone? You can only say that you were careless. If he didn't quarrel for a day, he wouldn't know the existence of the little dragon. The moment Lin Rei finished complaining, the little dragon ran out and belittled Lin Rei. Its face was full of laughter. Suddenly, Lin Rei felt helpless. In front of the little dragon, Lin Rei could only raise his hands and surrender. He didn't have any temper at all. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'd better hurry up and release that guy. After that, I'll go to the villa in Yanjing and pick up the dark team on planet Aqua Blue. After that, planet Aqua Blue will have nothing to do with me. As soon as the words came out, Lin Rei's eyes obviously dimmed. Under the dimness, there was a glimmer of longing. I said, stop pretending. I know you want to see your mother and siblings. In fact, with your current strength, you are completely capable of bringing them to the celestial realm and protecting them. The little dragon could guess Lin Rei's thoughts accurately. Sure enough, after hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei's eyes obviously widened. Then he fell silent again. Forget it. Let them live a peaceful and quiet life. The celestial realm is not a place they can go. Here at least there is no killing. However, in the celestial realm, people kill and steal treasures everywhere. The strong are respected, and the weak can only be crushed under the soles of their feet. At this point, Lin Rei's gloomy expression suddenly disappeared. Then, his eyes filled with fighting spirit instantly appeared.
Okay, it's time to activate the blind XX. Now, it's more important to save the Picio. Then, without another word, he took a step forward. In an instant, Linley's figure disappeared from where he stood. This was the so-called so close yet worlds apart. This was probably the case. When Lin Rei's figure flashed again, he had already arrived at the place where he saw the Picio 100 years ago. Rumble. Rumble. Perhaps the Picio had smelled Lin Rei's aura. When Lin Rei arrived, the sleeping Picio had already awakened. However, the awakening of the Picio was earth-shattering. The entire bottom of the sea shook violently, and the undercurrent was turbulent. If Lin Rei was still the little cultivator who had not reached the celestial realm 100 years ago, he would have been swept away by the undercurrent. Is it you, kid? A familiar voice sounded. The tone was still so annoying and wretched. Yes, we agreed 100 years ago. After 100 years, I will definitely come back here to save you from the seal. I will keep my word. Boom. After finishing his words, Lin Rei instantly released the cultivation of an early-stage immortal emperor. Suddenly, the moment the pressure appeared, it swept out in all directions with Lin Rei as the center. Suddenly, all the creatures within 1,000 meters were directly suppressed under Lin Rei's pressure. Some of them could not bear it and died directly. Hiss. The Picio took a deep breath and said, How is this possible?
From the combination realm to the early-stage immortal emperor in 100 years, this kind of leap in strength was impossible even in that era.
How did you do it? But now, Lin Rei could not see the real Picio. He could only hear its voice because Lin Rei wanted to see the appearance of the Picio. While being surprised, the Picio's tone had a hint of joy because it could go out soon. Well, kid, no matter what your cultivation is now, hurry up and take me out. I've been here for long enough. I don't want to stay here any longer. The Picio's intention was also Linley's intention. At this time, Linley was very anxious. He wanted to return to the immortal world immediately because he was worried about his wife and children, worried about the disciples of the sect, worried about his brothers. Therefore, he did not waste time talking nonsense. Luing, use all your cultivation and break the seal for me. Luing? Lin Rei's words puzzled the Picio.
However, at this moment, a figure suddenly appeared and released the aura of an immortal venerable.
Boom!
At this moment, all the cultivators in Kunlun Mountain, Amei Mountain, Wudong Mountain, Waterblue Planet, and all the famous mountains in the Huaxia realm were shocked beyond words after they felt this oppressive pressure. Lu Ying's method of cultivation was not only effective in Huaxia, but also in other countries in planet Aqua Blue. After feeling the pressure, all the cultivators and alien cultivators began to fly towards the place where the pressure appeared. Not only that, all the major families also sent people to search for the source of the pressure. At this moment, in the deepest part of the Pacific Ocean, Luing appeared according to Lin Rei's order and released his cultivation. He held the guqin in one hand and gathered all his strength. Instantly, a powerful force rushed out of the instrument and blasted towards the seal. Bam! A loud sound was accompanied by an earthquake. The undercurrent under the sea began to sweep towards the seal crazily with Luing as the center. However, on the surface of the Pacific Ocean, a huge watermark appeared instantly and rolled towards both sides. The water in the middle of the Pacific Ocean was separated. This scene was amazing, but it was not over yet. In the depths of the sea, a crack appeared on the seal of the Picio after Lu Ying's attack. This scene fell into Lin Rei's eyes. Regarding this, Lin Rei was shocked. One should know that Lu Ying was in existence at the peak of the immortal venerable realm. But at this moment, after using all his strength,
he could only cause a crack on the seal. This showed that this seal was not ordinary. It's better to let Lu Ying attack continuously. The sooner it's done, the sooner we can save ourselves the trouble. Little Dragon didn't care about Lu Ying's actions. He only ordered Lin Rei to continue attacking. Hurry up, I still have something to do. I won't be here for long. Lin Rei's words were the highest order in Lu Ying's ears. Even if Lin Rei ordered him to kill him now, he would kill himself without hesitation.
Yes.
As soon as he said that, the sound of the guqin rang out. Powerful attacks rushed out from the guqin, bombarding the place where the crack had appeared before. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Suddenly, a series of attacks caused the crack on the seal to become bigger and bigger. Finally, not long after, the seal finally broke under Lu Ying's attacks. Boom, kacha. The enchantment was broken, and a black shadow rushed out from the broken enchantment in an instant, laughing loudly. With that said, without waiting for the Pishio to nod and agree, he casually threw him and the elixir into the Cosmos Bell and let him cultivate. What F*** king nonsense. You're just like a woman. I really don't know if all Pishio are like this or if there's only such a special case. When his ears were finally quiet, Lin Rei finally breathed a sigh of relief. Ha ha ha, good, there will be more fun in the future. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei rolled his eyes, but he had to admit that what it said was right. He was afraid that his ears would not have peace in the future. However, there are also benefits to being busy. The Pai Xiao clan's restriction technique can be said to be at the peak of perfection. As long as the dead pig is by your side, you have to do your best to learn the restriction technique from it. No matter if it's cheating or other methods, the restriction technique of the Pai Xiao clan must be learned. The little dragon's words reminded Lin Rei. However, it was still too early to learn the restriction technique in the current situation. Ding dong, young master, the host has completed the mission. Ding dong, mission reward. 1 Kuei 2 10,000 magical sword. Upgrading one magical weapon can upgrade one realm. The system's reward suddenly exploded in Lin Rei's mind. Instantly, Lin Rei was stunned. But fortunately, Lin Rei was not very interested in the reward at this moment. As for the 10,000 magical sword, Lin Rei had not been able to understand its mystery. Other than being able to resist celestial artifacts, it was hard to say whether it could resist divine artifacts. There was nothing else about it. As for upgrading a magic treasure by a grade, Lin Li could only think of the Cosmos Bell. He had two ideas. The first was that the Cosmos Bell could reduce the amount of time he needed to train. The second was that after upgrading, the time difference between the Cosmos Bell and the Cosmos Bell would increase again. If that was the case, then it would be much easier for him to cultivate geniuses in the future. After making the decision, Lin Rei sat cross-legged on the ground. He decided to complete the upgrade of the magical weapon before going out. Upgrade the Cosmos Bell. Lin Rei's voice was very firm and there was no doubt in it. Then, as soon as Lin Rei finished speaking, the system's voice came, as if it had been waiting for Lin Rei's answer. Ding dong, okay. Host, please wait a moment. Ding dong, upgrade the Cosmos Bell activated. At this moment, the battle in front of the Xuanzong sect in the eastern part of the Immortal Realm had ended. The 16 Azuras had suppressed everyone. The 16 Azuras, including the sect heads, emperors and patriarchs, were all suppressed by Blood One and the other Azuras. However, the heaven and earth path was moved. They originally thought that since they were all immortal emperors, they would be able to escape from them. What the heaven and earth path did not expect was that they would be captured and suppressed by Xueqi in less than 3 moves. This was a huge blow to the heaven and earth path. They had not expected this mysterious person to be so strong, including Jian Wudi. However, Jian Wudi was filled with regret at this moment. He had lost his son, and now, he was going to die due to age. For someone like him, this was a huge blow. His pride was completely obliterated at this moment. Looking at the people who had suppressed them earlier on being suppressed one by one, Xuanzong and the others were extremely satisfied. At this moment, Xuanzong and the others were extremely satisfied. At the very least, the humiliation was over. At this moment, the people who had come to watch and even wanted to pick up the scraps of the Xuanzong sect were shocked. None of them had expected that the sect, which was about to be destroyed, would come to their rescue at the last moment. Moreover, it was such a powerful person. They swore to themselves that no matter what danger the Xuanzong sect was in, they would never come again. This was because the Xuanzong sect was very dangerous. After the people who besieged Xianzong were suppressed, all the onlookers dispersed. As the saying goes, when the tree falls, the monkeys scatter. Although they were not the disciples of the sects who were suppressed, they still had their own plans. However, at this moment, even their plans were completely destroyed by the scene just now. Okay, lock them up in the vermilion bird and black tortoise halls. Remember, without my permission, no one can touch them. As for the outside, I will create a barrier so they won't be spared. As for these sinners, we'll deal with them after the sect master returns. At this moment, Lingyu looked at everyone who had been suppressed. His eyes were extremely cold. However, when he thought of Linli, he couldn't help but warn the disciples of the profound sect. This was because he knew that if he didn't warn and pressure Linli, then these people would definitely be dismembered by 5 horses and their souls would be extracted in purgatory. Sure enough, after Lingyu finished speaking, the people who were still unconvinced quieted down after hearing the name Lin Rei. Yes. After hearing Lingyu's words, Xueqi and the others immediately took the tens of thousands of people to the Vermilion Bird Hall and other temporary prisons. Soon, Xueqi and the others disappeared from everyone's sight. At this moment, Lingyu turned around and said to the crowd, I know that you all hate them, but this is related to the sect after all. It's just that we have to wait for the sect master to return before making a decision. After that, we'll bury them on Heaven's Vault Mountain and rank them. They will forever be the heroes of the Xuanzong sect. These words made everyone in the Xuanzong sect submit. The dissatisfaction they had towards Lingyu completely disappeared the moment he said these words. Okay, I understand. I'll do it right away. Just like that, the Xuanzong sect's calamity finally came to an end. However, Lin Rei lost his wife and son in this calamity. Of course, Lin Rei, who was on planet Aqua Blue, didn't know this at all. If he did, then these sect members would no longer exist. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host. The universal bell has been upgraded. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host. The universal bell has been upgraded from an immortal weapon to a low-grade divine weapon. Now, the universal bell has a time difference of 11,000. 1 day outside is 1,000 days inside the universal bell. Hiss. Hearing the difference in time, Linli sucked in a cold breath. He hadn't expected that this increase in power would actually be 10 times as great as the previous one. Haha, that's enough. Look at you. Why do you still look like a country bumpkin who hasn't seen the world? You're drooling at the corner of your mouth. Hurry up and wipe it off. Just as Lin Rei was rejoicing, the little dragon's mocking voice sounded. Then, Lin Rei's hand subconsciously touched the corner of his mouth. In the end, Lin Rei was dumbfounded to find that there was no saliva at the corner of his mouth. However, the little dragon's laughter sounded and Lin Rei felt helpless. Ha ha ha, silly boy. Just because I said there was saliva, there was saliva? You're too gullible. Lin Rei didn't know how to respond to the little dragon's words. Then, he ignored the little dragon and stood up alone. The matter of the upgrade was resolved. He believed that the Pai Xiu should be able to regain its strength soon. Although it couldn't return to its peak state, he believed that it wouldn't disappoint him. Okay, I won't talk to you anymore. Let's hurry back to the dark group and pick up Big Brother, Second Brother, and C's relatives. Then, we'll prepare to return to the celestial realm. Chapter 426. After saying that, he flew up without saying another word. His speed was so fast that it was hard for people to see him clearly. He turned into a beam of light and instantly swam upward. However, the aura of the immortal emperor caused all the creatures within 1,000 miles of Lin Rei to flee quickly wherever Lin Rei flew past. However, at this moment, the middle of the Pacific Ocean was no longer a desolate place. At this moment, there were very few people here. There were thousands of people in the air, on the surrounding islands and on the water. There were black people, white people, and yellow-skinned people here. There were also people with red eyes, blue eyes, and black eyes. These people were all cultivators. However, they cultivated different Tao. Some cultivated the Tao of demon, while others cultivated the Tao of blood. This Tao was a little bit similar to the law of blood that Lin Rei accidentally obtained. There were cultivators who cultivated the Tao of immortality, and there were cultivators who cultivated the Tao of demon. These people all dared to come when they suddenly felt a huge pressure. Father, why do you think there is such a powerful aura here? This aura seems to have never appeared in the world. However, this time, it appeared in the Pacific Ocean. Do you think it will be a threat to our Huaxia? At this time, among the people of Huaxia, a very young man said to the middle-aged man with a serious expression after feeling the huge pressure. At the same time, the people of Huaxia next to him were also people from various sects and families. At this moment, they had all come here to see the strong man. Who knows? Anyway, I'm sure that there is no such person in the world who can release such a strong pressure. Unless he is back? At this moment, the middle-aged man's hymn made everyone present seem to be excited. Subconsciously, the people of Huaxia all pricked up their ears and listened carefully to the conversation between the father and son. Who? Father, who are you talking about? When the young man heard his father's words, he didn't understand why he didn't know who his father was talking about, so he asked curiously. However, at this moment, the middle-aged man seemed to be immersed in his memories. His face was full of emotions. Alas! Grandpa, your ancestor, told me this. He said that Big Grandpa said that he would return in 300 years. Moreover, Big Grandpa left our planet at that time. However, now that the 300-year period is approaching, I think Big Grandpa should be back. The person who spoke was Long Feng's son, Long Yi. The young man beside him was Long Ye's son, Long Huatian, Long Feng's great-grandson. What? Ancestor? Hearing the name of the person his father was talking about, doubts arose in his heart. He had never heard of this person before. However, these words were heard by the others. At this moment, everyone began to suspect that what Long Yi said was true. They had all heard that back then, that person could barge into the Long family alone. However, not long after, he seemed to have disappeared from the face of the earth. However, when they heard it again, it turned out to be like this. Sigh. Maybe not. It's been 300 years. I don't know if Big Grandfather still remembers his family on this planet. At this point, Long Ye's eyes were filled with grief. Then, his body trembled uncontrollably. However, just as everyone was making wild guesses, a tsunami suddenly erupted on the surface of the sea. A man with purple hair, dressed in Taoist robes, a purple jade golden crown on his head, and a piece of 10,000-year-old warm jade on his waist appeared. He looked very handsome and was very young. The appearance of the man caused everyone to grow nervous. At the same time, Linley, who had just emerged from the water, was also shocked to see so many people appear. Damn, what's going on? Why are there so many people here? Although Lin Rei didn't understand why there were so many people here, he could see the panic and fear in their eyes. Moreover, Lin Rei realized that almost all the cultivators here seemed to be from all over the world. Humph. You still have the nerve to say that. Lu Ying is an immortal venerable. There aren't even immortal venerables here. There aren't many Mahayana realm cultivators here. Moreover, after taking a deep breath, Lin Rei really wanted to kick the little dragon's words. Moreover, TSK, this planet is so small. A casual teleportation can make this planet turn around. Tell me, how could they not feel Lu Ying's cultivation? Of course, Lin Rei could understand what he was saying. Then, he floated in the air expressionlessly and said coldly to everyone, You all, I'm only here today to settle a personal matter. So you all can leave. After speaking, Lin Rei wanted to turn around and fly back to Yanjing, Huaxia. However, from the corner of his eye, he saw Long Huatian among the Huaxia crowd. He was full of curiosity. And at this moment, a figure appeared in his mind. This figure looked very similar to the man he had just scanned. In addition, Linley could sense a hint of a bloodline connection between him and the man. You must be the descendant of Feng. Since you're here, I'll give you a hand. Then, in front of everyone's eyes, Lin Rei released his spiritual energy and instantly wrapped it around Long Huatian's body. With a teleportation, they disappeared on the spot. In an instant, just an instant, the two disappeared without a trace in front of everyone. Haha, it must be. It must be Grandpa, it must be Grandpa. At this moment, when Long Yi saw his son being taken away by a powerhouse, he was even more certain of the authenticity of this matter. However, Long Ye's performance shocked everyone, and there was a trace of envy in their eyes. Yes, I will continue to work hard. However, this scene fell into the eyes of Tian Hu, not to mention the conversation between Lin Rei and Tian Hu. What celestial realm? What outer sect leader? At this moment, Long Huatian could not wrap his head around it. Well, you can get up. After saying this to Tian Hu, who was kneeling on the ground, he did not wait for the two of them. He directly pushed open the door and walked into the villa. Haha, 300 years have passed. I did not expect this place to still be so magnificent. Looking at the villa that was still the same as before, Lin Rei's heart was filled with a sense of familiarity. Yes, young master. I have never touched anything here. Moreover, I have always used my spiritual qi to protect this place, so that it would not be burned away by the passage of time. Hearing Tian Hu's words, Lin Rei did not say anything. He closed his eyes and enjoyed the familiar surroundings in the courtyard of the villa. After a long time, Lin Rei finally spoke. Kid, are you the descendant of Long Feng? That I am. The sudden voice made Long Huatian a little overwhelmed. However, in front of such a powerful person, he was very nervous, but he still stuttered out the words. Sai, how is Long Feng? Is he well? Lin Rei hesitated for a while, but still decided to ask about his younger brother's situation. However, Long Huatian's answer surprised Lin Rei. Great-grandfather is very well. Moreover, other than arguing with great-grandmother every day, great-grandfather spends the rest of his time cultivating. Haha, good. As long as he is well, I am at ease. You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.